Wait, what?
Because
That was perfect.
I had to go out and get my food.
Oh, okay,
I'm about to order some food myself.
Okay, go get your food. Go get your food. All right. Yeah. Anyway, we've been live, I think, for a bit now. So, what's up, everybody? Hold up. Okay. Yeah. What's up, everybody? OJ here. Welcome back to another stream, another PE podcast. We're at episode number 89, coming up on the big 100. That I will be doing nothing special for that. So look forward to that, guys. And we got a nice cast of people here today, man. I got a nice cast of people here. I'm here to talk about a bunch of different stuff. We got a guest too. We got our guest, a longtime friend of the channel, Isaiah Triforce Johnson is here as our guest. Isaiah, how you doing? Or Triforce, say. How you doing, man?
Yeah, what's going on, man? I'm glad to be here. I've always known about your podcast. I always miss it. And I'm like, this is a guy called Jarion. He's like, will you please get on the damn podcast? And I'm like, okay. And then when I heard the topics you had today, I was like, I'm in there. All right,
sounds good. I don't know if you remember Triforce, but I think it was E3 2014.
Yes.
I met you briefly.
Yes, because I went to E3 with Abdallah, and so I did meet you there.
And you brushed me off.
No, I didn't.
No, you actually did.
How did I brush you off?
How you gonna say that? How you gonna say that live though?
I had to save it. I've talked with Triforce many times before, but I had to save it for right now.
But all right, so the context to it, a lot of people approach me. So if there's multiple people talking to me or I'm doing something at one time, I always tell myself that no matter who approaches you, you have to always make time to at least say hello and goodbye, and at least go and let them know. Cause I don't know if you you met Reggie in person, so you know he goes through the same thing. There are people. Everyone's trying to get his attention. There's no way possible for him to give everyone's attention, but he'll let them at least know, wave, hi, bye, I'm busy, I gotta go, and that's it. So that's the context of it. But I didn't blow you off. I don't like doing that because I wouldn't want anyone to do that to me.
I'm just messing around. It was like you definitely were busy though. You were definitely going to go do something, so you didn't have time to talk to me because you were going to go do something. So, but
it's usually like that.
I'm just joking around. I'm just joking. But good to have you on, Triforce. And by the way, I'm being a douchebag because I've had Triforce on the show a couple times and never mentioned it. So I'm literally just being a douchebag, guys. All right, next up is Shadow Fox. Shadow Fox, how you doing today, my man?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Triforce, a lovely memory. It was almost like a 4-hour-long podcast we did with Jamie Butterworth back in the day, in the old school YouTube days. We were cursing out Michael Pachter about all kind of things.
That's how you know it's old school YouTube. Y'all talk about Michael Pachter.
Oh God, we were dragging him back and forth, and he saw some of the things on there. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go type. I'm gonna get him right now." It was amazing. It was great times, man. So good to see you again. And let's do it.
Good to be back
in the game.
All right, sounds good. Then right below him is we got I think we're gonna go VC. VC, how you doing tonight, my man?
I'm doing pretty good. I've been doing a lot of live streams, a lot of content. A Sony pony with 60 followers got me banned on Twitter for 7 days because they couldn't handle that Horizon Zero Dawn's on PC. But that's how people are, man. They just can't handle the truth.
Man.
But aside from that,
I'm so happy you got banned for 7 days, VC. I'm actually legit happy. You know why? Because I thrive in other people's misery. Because when I get banned, I'm happy that I get banned from Twitter too, and that made me happy.
You were banned from YouTube for 3 months. How happy was that?
Yeah, exactly.
Bank account, huh?
I get banned all the time, so when other people get banned, I'm okay. Good.
Yeah, because usually I'm the one that's able to just be like, quick report, they're gone off the net forever. Like that's usually how quick I am with it.
Banned for.
I was like, too quick with it.
But no, good to see you here, man. Also, Abaddon is here as well. Abaddon, what's up, man? How you doing tonight?
What's going on, y'all? First time meeting Triforce, and I've never been banned, so I have the best record here.
Knock on wood.
There's a first time for everything, my friend. You'll slip up.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's natural. If your skin color doesn't get you, something you'll say will get you. It's one of the two. One of the two is gonna get you at some point. You know how it is.
I mean,
I'm just messing around. Kind of. Baron's also here too. So Baron, he's getting some food from.
he's back.
Yeah.
I'm back, bro.
Okay, Baron's here. Baron, how you doing tonight, my man?
Doing. I was doing good.
All this CV stuff.
Yeah, that.
Oh,
Rona.
well, I can't wait till we talk about that tweet that you saw, Baron. I'm so hyped. I'm so happy now. Y'all have no idea.
You right?
I'm doing all right, man.
I'm not sure if that proves what you were saying, VC, but okay.
I don't know what tweet he's talking about right now.
No.
The whole
But this
America.
should be this should be an interesting podcast. You know what I mean? Well, here's the thing. I would get on camera, but I don't think y'all want to watch me stuff my face with vegan pizza. So
I'm gonna.
Isn't that what you did last night?
How would anyone even know you have vegan pizza?
because I always order it and they'd be like, "What?" I was trying to put people on game. Vegan pizza is the greatest thing y'all have never bought.
I've had it before.
I've had it
It's
before.
so
Yeah.
good.
I've tried.
I have it.
Yeah.
So good, bro.
I like regular pizza more, but it's good.
What toppings are on this vegan pizza?
Oh no, I just got the plain cheese, vegan cheese on it. Beautiful.
No veggies on the pizza though. Like
I got spinach. Spinach
is good. Spinach is good. I like
Spinach and
spinach.
vegan cheese is good.
Yeah.
That does sound good actually.
But I'm
Spinach is
ready.
low-key
I'm
one of the
ready.
best
You know what I
toppings
mean?
pizza.
I'm ready.
I'm
to go
getting
in.
some Alfredo. So
I'm ready to go in on Neil Druckmann and his treatment of his employees. Ready to go in on that. Ready to go in on why we ain't got this direct.
Well,
I'm ready to go in on people who actually are excited for that boring ass Animal Crossing. I'm ready to go in on everything.
Whoa. Okay. This is gonna be a problem.
well, let's first start with
gonna be a problem.
Let's first start with the big problem that's been going around the world, and that is the CV-19 that's been going around, the virus, and that's pretty much been canceling so many different things. We've had NBA seasons suspended, NHL suspended. We've had NCAA, one of the most greediest scamming organizations in the world, suspended in terms of things. We have all sorts of stuff just going down. Now we have gaming events suspended, Bit Summit suspended, canceled. E3 canceled. Just all sorts of stuff canceled, suspended, left and right. So I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on how the CV is affecting the industry, the gaming industry. When do you guys think? I think this is. I mean, we all know. Obviously, we've all talked about it, but we all know that it's going around and it's affecting things. But when do you guys think this will be solved? I guess I can start with Track first. When do you think things are going to get back to normal?
Well, because I have a better. That's going to come off too condescending. Based on my knowledge of the virus, it's a pandemic because there's no way to stop everyone from getting it. This whole quarantine stuff, and you can only reduce the amount, but it's going to take a while for the vaccine to be made. So until then, it's going to spread, and there's nothing anyone can really do about it. People should have stopped tampering with certain things. And but if they let it do its job and everyone just keep step their immune system game up, live a little bit more healthier, everything can go back to normal because they could deal with this as a case-by-case situation within at least 3 months. We can see things going back to normal. The more we try to run away from the virus, the longer it will take, because you're not giving your body the chance to, what's the word for this? To fight yes, because since Trump let the news out of the bag, I can say this without the black van being outside of my house, but it attacks the elderly and people who have respiratory or weak immune systems. So that's who the virus targets. The average person is basketball players have it. They're just gonna recover. They have great health. They're just gonna bounce back from it. A lot of people have it. They don't know they have it because they don't go test for it. First of all, it costs money to test for it, which is crazy. It's a pandemic, yet they're charging you to test for it. So this is what's holding the virus up from going through. Here in Jamaica, when we have the the Zigby virus and stuff like that, people, like we just said, all right, come bring it. Everyone got their yams up, their green banana, get the spirulina, the single Bible. We go through our usual, tried and tested African remedies, and it's like, and we just body it, and then we keep it moving. That's what's going to happen here in Jamaica, because 2 people from the UK imported the virus here, and so no, it's not a big deal. Like Jamaica always go through viruses all the time. The Caribbean always gets hit with this nonsense, and we just eat it, and then we keep it moving. So for us, when we hear of the virus, or quote unquote, when African people globally hear of the virus, we roll our eyes. This is the first time since the Dark Ages or the Black Plague, since everybody else has heard of a pandemic. So that's why they're all frantic. But we are like, yo, anyone playing dominoes? And that's just really what it's going to be. So we're going to get through it fast. The rest of the world just needs to relax and just, just take it and stop complaining. I think it's a lack of the whole, oh my God, it's a pandemic. I think that's what's going to make this, it's going to be longer than it needs to be.
Facts.
I agree.
I mean, yeah, I agree. The whole thing is sensationalism is profitable. So that's the only reason why the news companies are doing it the way they are, because there's profit. There's money to be made to do this.
Yeah.
So when you look at it from that standpoint, it's like it's no secret why, you're going to see this as bigger than what it really is. Whereas, as VC was mentioning before you even went live, more people died from the flu. Like on record.
Oh, so a guy from a doctor, an actual doctor. I should have remembered his name. I posted it in my Discord. He went on a TV station and he was talking about it, and he just got pissed. He's like, what do you think the problem is? He's like, the problem is us, the media. We're exacerbating the issue. We're making a big deal out of it. He's like, yesterday, the CDC reported 5,000 people died from the flu. No one's going crazy. They hear 3 people get the coronavirus in America. Everyone's pulling their hair out. And then he says, what people don't understand is that the recovery rate for the coronavirus is at 90%. The recovery rate is at 90%. Most of the deaths are due to people who have respiratory issues prior to the disease. Well, the virus just exacerbates the respiratory situation. So if you have a respiratory issues, it would be best for you to go in and check to get a test for the disease, because the faster you find out if you the virus, the faster you find out if you have it, the better you can prepare yourself to be able to fight it, rather than waiting for the coronavirus to just bam hit you, and then you have the respiratory issues anyway, so then like you're really not prepared. Everybody else, well, it's up to you. If you want to go test yourself, to go test it, fine, but like a person like me, I'm in great health. I'm not even going to even worry about it. Everyone's out here wearing masks, and like they don't even understand that you have to change the mask every hour and a half to 2 hours anyway. So the masks are pointless and all this other stuff. Like, look, the disease come. There's this Animaniacs cartoon.
You brought it back.
And there's a part where Batman is standing there and he lifts up, Plucky, he lifts up his shirt. He's like, right here. So like, come get it. It's like, we're laughing over here in Jamaica. Come get it.
Here's the thing. And I think that what you guys are saying, all of you guys are saying, yes, media, blah, blah, blah. I get that. But like I've stated before many different times, and I'll state this again, there is definitely issue, because it's elderly are being affected. They're accelerating their deaths. I mean, just because somebody has a respiratory issue doesn't mean that it's not an issue to make it a big deal. So it's a big problem. And also, if you look at like places like Italy's getting slammed. They're getting way more. I mean, it's pretty bad right there. I mean, because we're talking 1,000 deaths plus in Italy. They're on complete quarantine.
And I think that's why it's just a cesspool of them all being together. Conjugating.
Now, see, this is it's going to be very difficult to kind of avoid talking about Dr. CB, but I'm going to try my best not to go there.
Oh Lord!
certain diets create environment in which viruses thrive on. Don't get Mark Triforce's word. Where's the wood? There's no wood in here. Okay, this is wood. Knock on wood. Knocked on wood. don't be surprised if France follows suit. There's a particular diet in Italy and a diet in France, which will be the breeding grounds for this virus. I'll leave it at that. People I'm not going to put out any things that, just look it up. The type of foods that make it good for the virus survival.
Let me say something before.
I'm not gonna move on to the topic. I was gonna enter and kind of like let someone else just speak just a bit. So Baron, go ahead and go.
Yeah. So now I know y'all crack on me whenever I bring up all this health stuff during the podcast, because I always throw it in there. But it's kind of funny how he's like echoing a lot of stuff I've been saying months on this podcast. It's hilarious.
Time out. When have we came against you? We always agree.
No, you haven't come against me. I'm talking about people specifically in the chat.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
A lot of people in the chat were just missing the stuff I was saying, and he's in here echoing all this stuff I've been saying.
I said
the real epidemic, okay, and it's hard to say this to on social media, so I refrain from it because people will take it the wrong way. The real epidemic that I've been saying for the longest is the messed up way Americans eat. That's the real epidemic, because we are just continuously sickening our bodies with the way we eat every damn day.
The kinds of food too.
And it's the kinds of food that we do. And you know what I mean? And I would take you to this. This is in wrestling Twitter too. Everybody knows who Austin Aries is. Austin Aries put his take on it. It said the reason is, how we feed ourselves every day. This is why our immune systems are weak. I don't understand why Americans think the human body was designed to have all this help to function. You don't need a pill for every damn thing. Your body's supposed to be strong enough to be able to fight off infection. But everybody's immune system is so weak in America because we eat like shit. We don't work out. we don't really take care of ourselves. And the food pyramid they give us is the biggest blasphemy of bullshit I've ever seen in my life. And I'm so glad. Huh?
Can you do me a favor? Can you look out your window? Just double check if there's a black car out there. I'm just saying. I'm trying to look out for you, bro.
But I've been saying this for the longest. I trust me, I was under the same hypnosis as every other American until I decided I was going to chase this wrestling thing and I was going to get myself into shape. And all the stuff that I discovered that I was doing that I thought was correct was absolutely wrong.
There's a lot of Americans that do exercise.
We are one of the fattest countries.
We are because of our diet. But let's not act like nobody knows about health here and nobody.
Well, you got to understand, people turn the other cheek. They turn their ass to what people are trying to put them on game on. I don't understand. It kills me because I have friends and I have family that does this. Whenever they have a minor issue, it's like, well, I'm gonna take a pill for it. Like, you know what I mean? I can't sleep. I'm gonna take a pill. I got a backache. I'm gonna take a pill. You know what I mean? I'm out of breath. I'm gonna take a pill. I'm sleepy. I'm gonna take it. You don't have to take a pill for every damn thing. That shit drives me crazy. It's like, I don't understand why people don't understand these chemicals are not supposed to be in your body. This is why when they make these commercials to you, listen up, everybody in the chat. This is why when they make these commercials to you, they tell you about all this positive stuff, and then the side effects are like, they don't want you to hear all that.
And they have the giant paragraph on the bottom in fine print too. The giant paragraph on the bottom.
The whole time.
People, all you got to use your common sense. How do you think humans survived before all this medication and big pharma? How did you think they survived? They survived off the planet.
All right, buddy. I'm gonna need you to stop. I'm gonna need you.
Wait, hold up, real quick. What we're gonna do? We're gonna let VC
common sense. You cannot.
We're gonna let VC. Right? We're gonna let VC kind of hop in. What's your thoughts on this so far, man?
Well,
let me ask this. When do you think nobody's answered this question yet? Everyone's just been kind of popping off on this because I understand you guys want to talk about it. But VC, when do you think things are going to get back to normal? When do you think things are going to get back to normal? How about that? Can you answer that question for me?
As most of us may know, if you pay attention to any form of the news, this all started in China back in late November, early December, and they're just starting to not have the peak area of people getting sick from it. They're starting to get less people sick at the moment in China. So my theory is that it took them about 3 to 4 months, finally start having a downward trend of people getting sick. So logically, around June to July, we should be good.
Oh, well, that's evil. It's gone.
Oh yeah,
Well,
definitely.
okay.
Definitely. Too many games is probably gone too. I hope not. But
let me just. Well, VC, do you have anything you want to say?
Well, honestly, aside from that, I do want to mention that, as I've said a month ago, the Nintendo Direct was delayed, and the Lego Nintendo thing was a hint to that. And now they have someone at Nintendo that's sick with the coronavirus. So now many people there are in quarantine now because of it. So if they don't have the Direct finished now, it's not getting finished. All right, because you need multiple people to come together to make it. It's not just one person by computer.
Well, the way that the directs are done is that footage is that's a good point.
From all people too.
Yeah, footage is captured. Usually, Nintendo of America will capture it from the American version, or sometimes, depending on the game, it can be the Japanese version. If Nintendo's in the final stages of production, pretty much everything that they're going to put into it in terms of games, they probably get that stuff done. Usually, they're waiting for third-party developers to send them things as well in terms of it. Yeah. So if they're in the final stages of production for putting it together, it's probably, they've already got all the footage. What it is that it's just editing. They've got it because those things take. I don't even want to know how long those things take to edit. I'm like shivering.
Probably a good minute.
They probably
knowing
take
how to customize it and all that.
Yeah, they probably take at least. I mean, in terms of just manpower hours work. I'm guessing it's one editor or a couple editors. Maybe not, I think it might just be one editor. I mean, I'm guessing it takes him at least about a good month or so to get that edited and get it ready and get everything, all the footage that he needs and everything like that. So chances are they're still gonna have it. It's just editing needs to just be finished up, or maybe if they're gonna add like an extra trailer, because it's just B-roll trailers too, you know. And it's always in Japan, so like the people in Japan are always, you know, are the ones who are doing the actual speaking, you know.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, so I
also
think
a lot of other things have been canceled because of the coronavirus too. Getting off from Nintendo, NBA, NHL, Baron, WrestleMania possibly, like
Olympics is canceled, guaranteed.
Olympics, yep.
Yeah, you got to cancel the Olympics. Yeah.
I don't know.
From that, that's about it. That's about everything. And Corona, the drink Corona, is like gonna be out of business in like any week now.
Apparently, some people are buying them to set there's been a little bit more support to buy them because of how much stupidity that's been going around with that.
Same goes for Asian restaurants too. Asian restaurants are also getting hit really bad. Right
Asian
now,
restaurants are getting slammed here in the Central Valley, dude. It's pretty racist. I'll be honest.
I still support
xenophobia going on right now.
I need before they close. We have an East Japanese restaurant here in Jamaica. We need to go there while the sushi is cheap.
Yeah, while the sushi doesn't have plastic in it from the ocean.
Yeah. Well, I eat vegetable rolls. I don't eat the fish rolls anymore.
Nice. Yeah, I eat all the fish rolls. That's I get the tempura. I get the lobster. I get the spicy crab.
Oh, you got money.
Remember the scenario I mentioned?
Didn't that dude spend $600 on a dinner?
And that was just for a date. That doesn't include regular times I go out.
All right. Well, what about you, Shadow? What's Shadow Fox's thoughts on all this?
That could have been a good segue into another topic.
Did I go to Shadow Fox or did I go to Abaddon? Abaddon and Shadow Fox. Both of you guys give your thoughts. Whatever.
So, I think it'll probably fill itself out by summertime, but I guess what most people don't know is that coronavirus is a nomenclature. It's a family. It's not. If you remember SARS and MERS, they were spread by coronaviruses. They're just a type. They're a type of. It's defined by its shape, basically. So what we're worried about right now, this version 19 or what have you, is also called the novel coronavirus, and it's just the only issue is versus any of the other ones that have been going around before is this one was previously unidentified. That's the only issue. Nobody's charted it. Nobody's created nobody's reverse engineered it yet as far as coming up with some type of I can't think of it. I keep wanting to say serum. It's not a serum, just a vaccine, either live or dead. So, of course, there's some companies trying to make it for profit right now. I'm pretty sure Johnson & Johnson is working on it, and whoever else they're trying to pay to get it going.
Can I ask you a question? Because while you're on the topic, you seem to be very knowledgeable about this, and I just a question I want to ask. Usually when a virus comes out, the first thing you do to make a vaccine, the very first thing you do is reverse engineer it. And since this is from an unknown. Oh, and just to let you know, it has already mutated, which scientists from the CDC and WHO said that it is 0.000001% chance a virus like this mutates naturally. So why haven't they reverse engineered this natural virus? Just throwing that question out there.
No, you really about to have somebody at your door in a minute. You keep talking like that.
And most proteins, if they are found in nature, they've been around before we've been around as humans. So if it has mutated and we did not know about that mutation before, or the virus itself, there might be a little foul play involved. There just might be. So can't confirm or deny, but
Guard.
They have before in the past. So
yeah.
But yeah.
Moving on.
Yes, moving on. DNA can change. Protein strings can change, and they can be manipulated.
Just a quick question. My mic wasn't muted that whole time. Right?
No.
We heard
Yeah.
You guys are about to get me. You guys are about to get me sniped. Good thing I don't go outside. Good thing I don't go outside. Damn. Dude.
No. But
OJ, I want to say this, OJ. I think this needs to be said at this point in time because I think this is the time. This is the time frame in what's happening. These things need to be talked about.
They do.
At the bare minimum, the health side of it and how people need to take care of themselves and their bodies.
I get that, but
I don't want to get into conspiracy theories about mutated and viruses. I'll leave that alone.
I'm just saying,
but
I just don't want my freaking wife to be a widow, dude. I mean, it's not. I don't really care about my life too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be upset when it's for other people that care about me. You know? Jesus Christ! I'm just
Listen. A very famous poet by the name of Kendrick Lamar said very wise words. We gonna be all right.
Yep, we gonna be all right.
Unless you're in Italy. But anyway, let's move on to the next topic here, guys. We've got The Last of Us Part 2 drama, and holy smokes, today got blown up. Oh my gosh. So let's just start here. But I want to put out, before we do anything with this, guys, nobody's sitting here and saying, I want to make sure that I put a precursor because Naughty Dog fans can get pretty, Naughty Dog. So I don't think that the games are horrible, that they're the worst games in the world. I'm just simply telling you guys what the information that's out there. So recently, Naughty Dog has been, there was an article from Kotaku, Jason Schreier, who wrote about the crunch culture at Naughty Dog. Now, this is very similar to what they were saying, or like his article that he wrote about Rockstar, but this one seems a little bit different in terms of things, because one of the former animators pretty much came out and put a pretty scathing, I would say, a pretty scathing rebuke to the article that came out in terms of it. And the Cliff Notes version is that Naughty Dog, they really crunch and overwork their employees kind of to death, and like it's not that you're told to kind of stay there, but it's just insinuated, it's just implied that you will, and many things, especially with logistics, can mess up things. So if this person doesn't stay longer, or if this person goes home early, it can mess up this part. And since everybody is kind of like working independently as like almost not their own boss, but as their own, like this is what my job is, I've got to do this, sometimes it creates problems and issues within the overall product. And one of the former developers, he put up a thread, and I'm going to just read like the beginning and ending ones. But basically what he said, there was a long thread on this guy's Jonathan Cooper, who's a game animator. He worked there. He says, when I left Naughty Dog late last year, they threatened to withhold my final paycheck until I signed additional paperwork stating I wouldn't share their production practices. They finally relented when I assured them that this was most likely illegal. Now, he said, the truth is I have no awful crunch tales, so it's not like it's all bad, but the story animators, as we're known, were averaging 46 hours a week, so just keep that in mind. He wasn't suffering or anything like that. Now, he basically talked more about the demo being showed, the gameplay animators, how they crunched to get the demo that they showed off, and there was like a lot of problems. And even at one point, there was a guy who was hospitalized there because of how much crunch and how much work he was doing, which has happened before to game producers. This isn't something that hasn't happened. Yoshinori Ono from Capcom fainted, from the amount of stress that he's doing. So it's something that's happened. We had a little bit of a health scare with Sakurai, who blamed it on his diet, but I'm not so sure about that. But anyway, that's just my own.
I go on that diet myself, and I'll be honest. There's times where I'm working out a lot, and I feel like I get a little lightheaded myself. So
hey, look,
high protein, low carbs. I'm telling you, it
I understand. I understand.
But lightheaded does
happen. But overexhaustion from working as much as he works. But anyway, he did put that in. So he also talked about how Naughty Dog, their reliance on contractors is basically, I would say, degraded the work. And it's not that the studio is so much more talented, because when people see Naughty Dog games, like, oh wow, this studio is like the greatest studio ever. He says that it's not that. He says what it is that, this is from his own words, ultimately, Naughty Dog's linear games have a formula that they focus test the bleep out of them. While talented, their success is due in large part to Sony's deep pockets, funding delays, rather than skill alone. A more senior team would have shipped The Last of Us Part 2 a year ago. So he went on a whole there's more to it than that, guys, but real quick, because I know you guys want to get in this is what I've been saying. I said Naughty Dog's games, they seem to me like they strip, in terms of the single player, they strip out any type of advanced game mechanics or things to make the game more interesting and full of depth in order to bang home this highly polished corner, this really detailed piece of grass, this really cool thing that you shoot and it explodes. This beautiful and it does, ray of sunshine. Yeah, this beautiful.
Should have been on it podcast.
And
they strip out game mechanics to make sure that all of that stuff works well. And somebody's, I can't, who's doing that?
Who is that? That ain't me. That's
one of the two.
Oh, I got me some food.
Mute the mic real quick because that's really loud.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. And basically, they strip out those game mechanics so they can have a superiorly highly polished form, but it's just devoid of it's linear, it doesn't branch off, it's just, and that's what I've said about Naughty, and everybody rips me to shreds. Now we have a developer that actually worked there, that works on the game, saying it, so it is what it is. Not that you can't like Naughty Dog's games, because he still said, remember in this whole thread, I'm gonna let you guys know this, he still said that The Last of Us Part 2 is gonna be a good game. He still said it's gonna be a good game, and there's talented people there. But he did kind of go on with some of the stuff there. They strip out game mechanics, they strip out things to make games a little bit more depth, and they highly polish the crap, taking a really long time on very basic things, and then they put in a good script or really good graphics. They really focus in on those things, and that's how they make their games. Personally, for me, I don't like that style at all, and that's the reason why I'm wondering why I don't like Naughty Dog games. I don't like them that much. I mean, they're okay, but I never think of them as highly as other people, and I think that just hit the nail on the head right there in terms of what he had to say. But anyway, Baron, go ahead and go. I know you want to go.
Yeah, I got to go first on this one. Now, if y'all ain't seen this thread, I'm gonna link it into the chat in a minute, but I gotta speak on this real quick.
That thread is off the chain.
Oh yes, the thread is off the chain, and what made it so beautiful to read all that stuff, it's exactly the shit I've been saying for the last year and a half about this B+ studio. But you know what? Let me go ahead and
That's still pretty good though, B+.
With the B+.
Let me read what this former dev.
Pockets.
Let me read what this former dev at Naughty Dog said, because this is the most important thing that backs up everything I've been saying. But all they ever say is, Emperor, you hating. Emperor, you hating. No, I'm just reading the facts and showing you exactly what I see. So now somebody else is going to tell you exactly what I saw. So he said this: while super talented, they lack the technical design know-how to assemble scenes. Similarly, the design team ballooned with juniors to make up for the attrition of key roles. Every aspect of finishing the game took much longer due to lack of experience on the team. Now, I've been saying that they was trying to cut corners and they've been honing in on just one type of thing, right? But this quote right here sealed the deal for me. The reason I left is because I only want to work for the best. That is no longer Naughty Dog. This is his words now. This is his words.
You think he's being a little bit bitter on that one?
No.
No, not that.
No. Their reputation for crunch within LA is so bad, it was near impossible to hire seasoned contract game animators to close out the project. As such, we loaded up on film animators.
Yep. Because it's a
and
movie,
what I have been saying the whole time, these games are interactive movies. They're not video games.
They're video games.
And now you have the proof from a guy that's at this studio. How long he's been working here now? For quite some time. He's worked on a lot of these projects, and he's worked on The Last of Us.
They're video games.
He literally said that their reputation was so bad they couldn't get seasoned contract game animators. So they got film animators. Which telling you they don't give a damn about the damn gameplay. They want to sell you those pretty ass pictures.
Because they know the casuals will buy it, which is the point.
Yep.
No, but you guys are hold up. Time out. Before Trifos goes in, you guys are mistaken on what you said. Casuals. You guys are mistaken on Sony's audience. This is their core that likes this.
Sony has moved to the West.
Wait, you said it's their core.
That's their core. Yeah. The Last of Us Part 2 is the most hardcore Sony. It's one of the most hardcore Sony games. That is their new core. That is their Mario. That is their Zelda. Is the Last of Us.
Just to let y'all know, I'm going last.
That's their core. Am I wrong?
No. Well,
am I wrong?
It's still a casual game, though.
Before you God of War or Spider-Man and Horizon Zero Dawn.
Before you go into it, OJ,
in their core.
I want everybody to understand. I want everybody to understand. This is from a guy that worked for them. This ain't somebody on the internet that just got a review copy. This is a guy that works for them. So if somebody like me that's a true gamer that's been gaming for a very damn long time seen this and y'all was blind to it, it tells me one thing. In people's eyes, Sony can do no wrong. They always do the right thing.
That's because Sony
and they never do no wrong. And I sat up here and say, I do not like the direction Sony is going with their games. And everybody turned it into, oh, it's about this. I'm hating on them. I'm like, no, because these are not games anymore. These are interactive movies. That's exactly what they are.
And when you drink that Sony water bear and everything.
And the reason I got on God of War so bad, they literally stopped that dude from fucking jumping. Literally stopped him from jumping.
I hate that.
And I was the only one irate about it.
No. People.
No, you weren't.
No, people slammed the hell out of me for talking about he couldn't jump. People bashed me in my chat. People bashed me on the Spawncast.
This man is the God of War. It wasn't just you.
Well, no, me and Nate.
Combos were the best thing about that game.
God of War.
Yeah,
he could jump one time and scale damn near 50 skyscrapers. This man can't jump anymore. It was obvious what they was trying to do.
Facts.
Make an interactive movie experience for you, but I'm the one catching all the hate. And now you have the developer basically saying the same shit I've been saying for the last 3.5 years.
Okay. Can I jump in?
You can go ahead. I'm done now.
All right. I'm done now. Okay, guys. Sony they had a lawsuit that they lost, remember? Where they did not want to be referred to as a video game company. They wanted to be referred to as an interactive media company.
Do you remember what year that was? Because I forgot what year that was, Triforce.
Yeah, that was their company name for a while, Interactive Entertainment.
It was 1990. Wait. It was right before Smash Brothers. So this is either 98 or 99, right? Smash Brothers 1, right? So it's not that Sony is trying to be something else. This is what Sony has always seen themselves. Their focus is interactive media, and they're trying to get into the video game industry with it. That's what it's always been. That's how, and it's always will be that way. Other people can make games for Sony's system and platform, but Sony and all of its second and exclusive party entities, they want them to focus on that more so than anything else. Third party companies like Capcom and stuff like that, they try, like Devil May Cry, prime example. They want to be able to make interactive games or interactive movies, but they also understand that Capcom has been around before Sony, so they have their audience that they have to make games for. So no matter what, their job is to find a way to make their video games transition seamlessly through interactive movies etc. But then transition back into the video games. When you look at the new God of War, it didn't transition. Like, it's just, okay, guys, we know that you're used to God of War being this way, but that doesn't even exist anymore. This is God of War, because for them, they want to focus more on when we're done with this product, how can we transition this to the silver screen? That's what this is about, and it's gonna be that way. That's what this is about. It's the reason why, like, look at a game like Gears of War. It's about getting your game to start into the film and not into the video games, and then how to transition those video games into films. Because when you look at the movie industry today, it is a completely different generation, and people like to see these fictional fantasies works come to the films. That's what people want to see now. And it's sad, this is why I never liked the whole concept of graphics over gameplay. They take the graphics now is the main thing. But here's the reason. The more money, more jobs are made readily available for people who can create these interactive film-like experiences rather than actually creating video games. If you look at the entire video game industry, sadly, the indie industry, which focuses more on the gameplay, which they make these games like Celeste and Hollow Knight and Cuphead and all this other stuff, right? And the Messenger, these games have massive amounts of gameplay, very few cinematic aspects. They don't get the funding needed, and they're making these excellent gameplay stuff, except for these stupid Kaiser Mario level type games and these boss battle nonsense, which is just cheap ways of like giving you DLC content. But I'm not going to get into that. Shout outs to Sahil. But they want to focus more on the cinematic experience. The cinematic experience is what expands from the gaming industry out into other industries, which then once you get your games into the movies, then there's the music aspect that comes from it, the merchandising, and the blah, blah, blah. Prime example of that is Sonic. Best believe the next Sonic game that's going to come out is going to feel more cinematic than it is going to play like its predecessors before it, because that's what this generation of gamers want. So for the guy who's in here talking about, from when I grew up, listen, our time is done.
Oh, look, wait a minute.
Yo, hold up. Can I add a point real fast to that?
No, I just want to say this real quick. Look, you are dead on a lot of stuff you're saying, but it's already been proven that both can be done. You know what I mean? We can still have a very successful game that's really focused on gameplay, and plus we can have games that can have both. You know what I mean? We have games that have both. You know what I mean? I think Pokemon is a good example, because people come to Pokemon because they are addicted to that gameplay style, not really the cinematic of it, but their movies and their other merchandise and stuff also do well as well. I think Pikachu is the best video game movie besides Sonic. I think Sonic has it now. But Pikachu had it for the best grossing video game movie. So yes, the fans do want that. But I don't think they want that as a sacrifice of gameplay. You can get both things done.
Wait, in today's age? No, hell no. They definitely want that to sacrifice gameplay. Dudes is complaining about Cuphead and Dark Souls being the hardest thing that they've ever seen in their life. They definitely want that. They don't know what they don't. This day
King's Field was harder.
But
before
hold up,
these guys don't know what difficulty is.
But
they have never played.
I know that's true.
People like Dark Souls and Cuphead. People buy those games.
People did buy Dark Souls though.
People buy the hell. Dark Souls From Software is actually a very rich company. They don't like to talk about their financials, but that company makes a lot of money. They make a lot of money for what they do, for the price that they make their game. Like, they have a high profit margin from Software games, because they know how to make games. They don't go on cinematic. They don't go crazy on cinematics. They don't go crazy on story. They just make a game and then they sell it, and it sells really well. So people like. Yeah, Cuphead sold really well. I think it sold over 1 million on the Switch by itself.
I just want to say,
that's true. This is true. What I'm saying is, I went on to a side tangent, because when the person said people still want gameplay over video games. Like, that's not true. People accept gameplay. But what they want is something totally different. People want more interactive experiences. People want, you have to remember, the casual market is what runs the video game industry, not the hardcore, not the pros. We are a big part of it, but we are not the majority of it. The majority of it is the casual gamers, and the majority of the casual gamers do not want difficult games. So they say games like Dead Cells and Dark Souls and Cuphead are the most extremely difficult games in their entire life, yet they've never played Ghosts and Goblins, they've never played Ghouls and Ghosts, they've never played Total Carnage, they've never played Smash TV, they never played Ninja Gaiden NES. We're not talking about Ninja Gaiden on the PlayStation. They never played
NES.
Hey, we never played Zelda 2.
Well, Zelda 2 is not hard, but they've never played those.
It's just bad. It's not hard. It's just a bad game. That's really.
They've never played really difficult games. I've had a guy in my Discord tell me Super Mario 3 was difficult. This is what. Yes, he's under 21. This is what I'm talking about. He literally said Super Mario Brothers 3 was a difficult game. Dudes don't even know.
PlayStation generation. Jesus.
No, he's not even PlayStation generation. I said he's under 21.
Oh, geez.
He's this generation.
He's 360 generation. That's what he is.
That's a whole level different.
Put these guys in a room with Contra hardcores for the Genesis. They'll blow their brains out. Put them with the game and a gun and watch. It'll only take them about 2 hours and they'll reach for the gun quickly.
But here, you hit a good point on, like, a lot of people don't understand what difficulty is. I ranted about this as well. I think I ranted about this when everybody was crying about Shadows Die Twice needing an easy mode, which I think was the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Dumbest article.
Time out. Options.
Don't
options. No, I don't know. I don't want to hear none of this crap. Options.
Hold up.
I don't want to hear none. You guys are one-sided bullshit. Because when a game is screw you guys. No, when a game is too easy, you guys rush to say that there should be a harder mode in the game. You guys rush, but when a game is too hard, oh no, there shouldn't be an easier mode. How come you want an option for one way but not the other way? That's one-sided nonsense. No.
It's not one-sided.
It is one-sided.
It is.
It's the way the game was meant to be.
Okay, well, if the game is too easy, that's the way the game is meant to be. Why is it a problem if the game is meant to be easy then?
Nah, I have to.
You got a problem with easy games, VC. You bitch about that all the time.
Hold on.
I like tough games. Okay, then. So then it's a problem. So then why is it not a problem the other way around? No.
Kirby's always easy.
Hold on. Let me jump in on that.
I find that ridiculous. Sorry, that triggered me.
I have to agree with OJ on this because seriously though, the one thing we don't want to come off as gaming elitists. Like gaming elitism is highly toxic.
But that's not elitism, though.
It is.
You guys are misconstruing preference and elitism.
No. Yeah, hold on.
I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm saying I know what hard is.
Yes. No, I'm saying I'm better than most of these people in this generation, but that got nothing to do with anything.
I'm just saying there should be options for all gamers. There should be options.
I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that. Some games, video games are meant to have fun, so there should be a diverse set of genres for people to have fun. People who like hardcore, really difficult games, that's for your hardcore gamers. Games should be that. People who like to play games competitively, pro esports, there should be games for that. People who like to play games casually, there should be games for that. People who like to play games but want to have more of an interactive, immersive experience, there should be games for that. People who just want to have social gaming, there should be games for that. There's nothing wrong with there should be games for every genre. So I 100% agree with player on this. Like there should be no games that's for that. What I'm saying is that people from casual areas complain about what's hard. Stick to your casual gaming. Stay in your lane. Hardcore gamers, stay in your lane. Pro gamers, stay in your lane. I'm tired of pro gamers coming out of their lane.
Okay. Well, this is a topic for another day. Topic for another day.
I want to say something else to what he said. I want to say that I don't think casuals really outnumber us that big.
You're nuts.
They do. They
Well,
do. They
on mobile, yeah.
No, it's
on consoles too.
They outnumber
Consoles too.
1 to 12. 1 to
Consoles
12.
too.
My man.
But the thing is, I think you was right about they want interactive experiences, but they still want an experience that's good. You know what I mean? Because it's plenty of people out here.
That's subjective, though.
I don't know, because there's plenty of people out here that bitch about Madden, that bitch about NBA 2K, that bitch about WWE 2K. And most of these are casual people. And they obviously can't, they don't like the experiences they're getting on the gameplay front of it.
But
and
they
these are casual guys. Yeah,
so
they still buy it. Yeah, they still buy it. I'm guilty of that. I still buy Madden. And it still has flaws that I can't stand on a gaming front.
Here's the thing to consider. Wow. Here's something to consider though. That's like crazy. A lot of us, it's safe to say that everyone on this podcast, most everyone that's on this podcast started out with gaming where there wasn't a save a game option. In fact, I remember. Yeah, so I grew up. Listen, I grew up.
Oh my god!
I grew up playing Bloodlines. We had to literally draw like little things for the password to get to the next level. It wasn't even for every level. So I get, Shadow Fox, Triforce, Baron. I get your points. Like I grew up in that era, but at the same time, growing up and in those eras as well, we can't acknowledge that those games like Streets of Rage, Shinobi 3, those games had easy, normal, and hard.
Yes.
So the same thing.
Options were there for you, which is what what OJ was saying. Those options. Two, if you're a hardcore gamer, you beat it on the hardest.
Exactly.
We're not gonna penalize you, but hey, guess what? There's a smoke called Mania. Casual gamers don't care about Mania. They just want to play it on easy and normal. Let them have their fun. But if you want to, which is why I have this. I just want to do this quick 1 minute mini rant, which is why I have a problem with Hollow Knight. Because in Streets of Rage 2, the ending for the game remains the same no matter if you click easy, normal, hard, hardest, or Mania. You know what I don't? Do you want to know what elitism is? When you go, we're going to make this game. We're going to make an ending. Here's the normal ending. Here's the hard ending. But if you want the true, real ending, we're going to make this overtly difficult, which only a handful of people within a specific genre of gaming, which is hardcore, can get to that ending. Why? Because we made it very difficult, which alienates everyone else, and that's not fair. I do not agree with that.
A lot of Metroidvanias are doing that lately, though.
I know.
Okay, here's what we are gonna do. What were we talking about before? We're getting back to Naughty Dog. Does anybody want to discuss Naughty Dog and what happened there? I guess we can kind of tune it back. That's a discussion.
My thing about Naughty Dog is this is the hypocrisy I don't understand with that. So they have these repeated crunch times over and over again, knowing full well that Sony will grant them the money for the next delay. I never understood it. Hey, it's crunch time. As the project manager, at that point you could just go to Sony proper and say, hey, look, we're not going to make it. We need 3 months more worth of project funds to finish polishing this up. And I don't understand it. So you're having people quit, you're having people fired. They're not liking their I guess I said, for lack of a better word, not cost of living, but their experience there at the company because of these crunch times that they don't need to have. So the game has been delayed. Well, probably internally, it's probably been delayed at least 5 times. So you're talking, 5 different episodes where people are like, if I just go through this, we're good. And they do 80 hours or whatever, and all of us 80 hours in 1 week or whatever, and then all of a sudden they look and they're like, nope, it just got pushed off 3 more months. And then at the end of those 3 months is crunch again. And so people are like, I'm not doing this again. And then after they do it the second time, they quit. And then other people come in, and now there's not that many people there, and then they do the crunch again with even more people that are not as well versed in the project. So why do that if every single time you're granted more time on the project? Sony is not going to let that go gold broken. You know that. Worst case scenario is we're gonna shit can the project and be done with it. That's gonna be the worst case scenario, which is what you want anyway. You don't want it release broken. So why put people through that if you're an internal first-party studio or a ironclad second-party studio? Why would you do that? You know you have the best relationship. You basically have a blank check, so to speak. Kind of like how Rare was with Nintendo well before the deal happened or whatever. Rare took their sweet time, and they might have had crunch time here and there, but it was very rare. I mean, that was my own pun there, but yeah, that was very. It was very rare for them to be in that situation because Nintendo would just cut the check. So I don't know why they're doing this to themselves, and they're literally in the same coast as their parent company. It's just really bewildering to me. Why would you do that? Especially with a game that's supposedly, not only is this supposed to be the premier game for your 8th generation system, your 9th generation system is coming too, and chances are it's going to be cross-gen. So why would you even think Sony is going to cancel this game?
I wanted to get to VC because I know VC you wanted to say a couple things about Last of Us and all that. So go ahead and give your thoughts, man.
Just when it comes to The Last of Us, like
in terms of like what the developer said and all that stuff.
Yeah, but what the developer said. Well, the exact words I actually didn't get to look at. Actually, just to let you know. But overall, like with all the people being let go, what I heard is there's a lot of people that are younger graphic designers, younger people that are straight out of college, that they're hiring them, and then over time they're letting them go and making them quit to not pay them more. And that's why there's such a large turnaround in the business. That's why there's so many people that are work there that are quitting or leaving there. That's why there's 70% of the employees not there.
Well, contractors, and I guess it was,
and that's why they're doing contractors.
The 70% number was 70% of the main development or game designers for Uncharted 4 have left. So it was like 14 out of like 20 or whatever the case was have left. So that's what's caused multiple issues, along with contractors that they bring in, maybe not fresh out of college, but contractors that they bring in that aren't going to be there full time. Now they dangle the carrot of full time, salaried in front of them, but some of them make it, some of them don't. But I mean, that is a normal practice. Now, 70% of people leaving after your last game that just came out in 2016, that's not a normal practice. But
this is a little bit different though. This is different because they were so strapped for personnel. They weren't replacing the personnel with who they should have been replacing them.
You're right.
Because those designers were also game designers and game programmers as well. And they're replacing them with people that are just designers that have no programming background. So now they come in and they don't understand the full scope of the project. They don't understand how game design works as a whole. And they're just coming in to help design. And they're not being able to help fully because they don't understand what their place should be, and that's part of the issue. So now you've got juniors training juniors because these juniors are programmers, so they're trying to help other guys coming in that also have that as part of their background, and they don't. So that was part of the rant too he was talking. Which is that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, you're right about that. What Shadow Fox just said is absolutely right. There's definitely some issues. I mean, and I don't think anybody's ever said that Naughty Dog is perfect or any company is perfect, but it does seem to me like the biggest issue that I've seen, and where every single development cycle, because the question was asked, like, is this going to get better? Is this what's going to happen? Like, can this continue? And I think that's the biggest reason. Yes, we all love these big, powerful systems and all this stuff like this, but like they always say development's going to get easier. Development's going to get easier. Okay, from PS3 to PS4, then why was Uncharted 4 this crazy thing that caused all this? If everything's supposed to be easier, PS4 is easier to develop for. PS4 is easy. Yeah, that's all we heard was easier, even from Naughty Dog themselves saying, "Oh, well, we transitioned the engine and it was easier." What the hell? It wasn't easier. Uncharted 4 absolutely wreaked havoc on your company when it comes to what people leaving. Why this smoke and mirrors bull crap? You know what I'm saying? No, it wasn't easier. Uncharted 4 was not easier than Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. That's BS. There's been 3 Uncharted on the PS3. There's 1 Uncharted on the PS4. Don't sit here and tell me that it's easier. No, it's not. And The Last of Us Part 2, you're having all these issues with The Last of Us. That's the only thing that I don't like when these developers start coming, oh yeah, development. No, it's not. You still have the crunches. You still have the bad treatment. You still have the turnover. You still have a destructive work environment. Of course, that needs to be done. I get it that there's know if there's a simpler way. Maybe Nintendo's figured some things out because we don't hear about that as much. I mean, we have heard. I mean, Retro Studios, they went through some stuff, so maybe, but it's not due to crunch with Retro Studios. But I mean, like, I don't know. That's the issue that I have with this, because they literally, you can go back and, guys, I don't have the articles right here, but I swear to you, they sat there and said, oh, it's much easier to be on the PS4, and we transitioned the system, and it's not going to be anywhere as hard, and it's not cell architecture anymore. It's x86. Everything's easier. Then why did Uncharted 4 wreak havoc on your company then, in terms of people leaving and everything like that? And then they talked about the DLC even being worse. Like, the DLC for the game even made things worse. So I think there's a lot of smoke and mirrors going up with them in terms of what they say and why they wanted to make that guy sign some type of illegal papers that he can't say anything. Like, what?
Yeah, that's bad management all the way around. It's bad management.
But I don't know. That's just yeah, and I still have people sitting there saying, yes, it's easier to develop on PS3 compared to PS4. I mean, okay, well then one Uncharted compared to three Uncharted. But yeah, everyone's saying it's easier. Okay, believe what they say. Everything's easier. PS4 is easier.
Why don't you go do it, Fivers?
Everything's easier. Okay, you believe that? That's cool. You believe it. But why was Uncharted 4 such a more destructive force in terms of turnover? And the biggest problems that Naughty Dog has had up until this point was Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4 caused so many issues with Naughty Dog. So many issues with Naughty Dog that Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 never did. So if it was so hard to develop on PS3 and PS3 was such a problem, how come they were able to bang out 3 Uncharted games? Games.
They reused that engine on PS3, and I think what the issue is with them starting over on PS4. They're starting over on PS4, game development is still expanding.
They said that they didn't start over though. They said, this is what they said in one of their interviews. They said, oh, well, we transitioned a much easier from they said that they had a harder transition from the PS2 to the PS3 than the PS3 to the PS4 with Uncharted. They said that they had so many issues with the original Uncharted, and the transition was rough from PS2 to PS3. Okay, maybe we believe that. Okay, but if that's the case, the transition from PS3 to PS4, why is Uncharted 4 the most destructive game in terms of turnover rates and in terms of things that happen to your company? If the transition period, and it's so much easier. No. It's not so much easier. If it was so much easier, then you wouldn't have all the turnover, and you wouldn't have Amy Hennig leaving in the middle of stuff. If it was so much easier, you wouldn't have all these problems and all that stuff. I don't want to hear this so much easier stuff when your company is literally losing people over and over and back and forth, left and right. That's what I'm saying. Like, where's the easier part then? Is that what happens when things are easier? People leave?
The easier part is the code and the middleware is pretty much universal across all these platforms now, to include Switch. The issue becomes they have made these games so bloated now, as far as not even just file size, or somebody mentioned 4K assets and stuff like that, but it's just the fact that you're trying to make the scope of this game so grand, and you're trying to make sure that these violin riffs hit at just the right moment. You're syncing sound, trying to create a movie scene instead of creating a good game first. And that's part of the problem that you're seeing through. So the way they design their games, they're creating set pieces one after another that you walk through that's supposed to impress you visually per se, but the entire time you're not even playing the game the same way.
I think another thing to add to what you're saying, because we're focusing on the budget of a game. Another aspect of the budget of the game that I wanted to touch into that I haven't heard anyone say yet is even the soundtracks, the scores. And the fact that we're making a transition from orchestral instead of MIDI, the budget is a lot higher for some of these video games, and that takes away.
And they try to write 3D sound shaders as well.
Exactly.
There's different sound effects based on where you are in the environment.
I think the biggest one is also everybody's trying to put these Hollywood actors in their movie.
That too.
Death Stranding.
That's the biggest bank hitter right there.
You spending 2 years doing voice acting for a game. Who the fuck does that? 2 years?
Kojima does that.
Yeah, Death Stranding.
That's true. That is true.
So, but
Death Stranding was a piece of media.
But you know what's
a piece of shit.
But you know what? You know what's funny though? Yeah. You know the irony is, like, with all these big soundtracks and all these huge graphics, half these games aren't as memorable as the games we remember growing up, and that's the irony.
They aren't, and they don't hold up well at all. Like
they do not hold up well.
That is the irony.
Yeah, I think they just rush games nowadays. Nowadays, you just rush games. I think just the past 10 years, it's all it's been.
Nah. Breath of the Wild wasn't rushed.
Well, that wasn't rushed, but
what game you talking about is rushed? Because Nintendo typically doesn't rush the games.
Skyward Sword was probably the only game that was
what I mean.
The only thing that was rushed for sure was that damn Pokemon game that came out in November. That definitely was rushed.
You can tell. We're not gonna talk about that.
Oh, that was. They definitely had to hit a. No, they definitely had to hit a target. I definitely think that they had to hit. And if they would have given them more time, they definitely could have shaped up a couple things. I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it was rushed. I just think it was they had a timeline that like, all right, listen, this is taking too long. Get that out there. I think it was cookie cutting. That's what it is. Like, hey, listen, it's Pokemon. Just get it out there.
Put it together.
Yeah.
And it's sold regardless.
And it's sold. Exactly. It's Pokemon.
The most selling Pokemon out.
Pokemon, Mario, and Zelda. Those are the three franchises that Nintendo, if they want to, if they're missing something, every time Nintendo, something that I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, every time Nintendo is in trouble when they're launching a system, they launch it with the Zelda. When they launch it with the Zelda, they off everybody.
Yep.
Look back in history. You'll know every time. Anytime they need a banger coming out, they start the industry, whatever the case may be, and things is just not rocking too well. Drop that Zelda, bang, done.
Does anybody have anything else to add to the Last of Us Part 2 stuff? Then we can kind of move on to the next.
The only thing I want to add is that now that this developer has come out with all this information and confirming that yes, Baron knows what the hell he's talking about, you should listen to him more. One of the other things is. Another thing I talked about is now you see why your multiplayer in Last of Us 2 was sacrificed. All the other nonsense excuses they gave you before, now you see what it really was.
Yeah, they don't have no time. They could barely complete the main game.
They so focused on giving you the interactive movie that they had to chop half of the original gameplay experience out of this.
Dude, but the PS4 is so much easier to develop for and everything. What are you talking about, bro? The Last of Us 2 and The Last of Us 3 had the same or not The Last of Us. The Last of Us 1 had multiplayer and there was no problem, right? I mean, Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3 had multiplayer and a single player campaign with all the regular but the PS4 is so much easier to develop for. It's so much easier. It's easier. What are you talking about?
That's gotta be true. That's gotta be true, OJ. I just think game development now, the way that they design their games is bloated, and they can't. Like, I'm pretty sure right now, if you ask any developer whether they wanted to port a game to Wii U or PS3 versus Xbox One or PS4 right now, they would probably instantly say PS4 or Xbox One because the tools are there and they're more modern and they can just kind of throw it together.
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is here's what I'm saying. This is essentially what I'm saying is this.
Because of how they sold it originally.
Yeah, you can sit here and say that something's easier, but with elevated expectations in terms of what you're doing, the time goes somewhere. So you can sit there and say it's easier to develop on this, and yes, it might be. But if you're because of the specs of the system, and if you're going to do so much more to it, and it's going to add so many more problems on top of it, nobody can sit here and tell me that a game, The Last of Us Part 1 has multiplayer, Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3 has multiplayer. This game comes out, they crunching, we hear all these stories, there's no multiplayer in it. Then tell me, oh well, it's easier. Well, what if it's easier? Then what's the problem here?
OJ, you know what the problem is. They don't give a damn about none of that.
Not that I care about multiplayer more so than anything. I'd rather have them focus on the single player experience, but I don't want to hear all of this. It's so much easier when there's turnover like crazy. When Uncharted, like, I already repeated myself. I'm done. I'm not going to sit there and go into it again. That's just a repeat on myself. I don't want to hear that when less things are being added into the game. The Last of Us Part 2 is the most ambitious game, according to them, that they've said. But after hearing all this stuff like this, am I likely to trust what Naughty Dog says? I'm very hesitant to trust, based off of the interviews and articles, and I'll put together a video, and I'll go back and find those articles for all you guys who think that I'm just messing around and not telling the truth. I'm very hesitant to believe what Naughty Dog officially says about game development and their things at this point. After that Jason Schreier article, and after going back and thinking, well, wait, they were saying all this stuff right here, I'm very hesitant to listen to anything they've got to say when it comes to development and what they're saying is easier or not easier or how they develop games when they're trying to illegally what was it, like gag order somebody, like illegally gag order somebody from speaking about certain things and all this. Like, no. That raises all sorts of red flags. I'm sorry.
You can't sign an NDA after the fact. It don't work that way.
Yeah, it don't work that way.
Nope.
There's something that there was something they were trying to protect, and to be very honest with you, what they were trying to protect was what they didn't want someone contradicting what was already said. But it's too late. The person already left the company. That's that. Like, everyone should just know that. Like that should be so obvious.
Hey, I knew it was obvious, but anyway, I'm just a hater, so I don't know.
You are a hater, Baron. You know what else? You know what else we're gonna get accused of?
I speak on what I see, bro. That's it.
You know what else we're gonna be accused of next? Is hating people who just want to spend their time and effort, on talking about whoever they want and spending their time on certain content creators in terms of things. So I don't want to spend like a ton of time on this because this is like an awkward topic, I guess. But the whole topic, I know Triforce wanted to speak on this, and let's be very
the simp topic.
The simp topic.
Yes.
Wait. Before we go on, because there has to be a disclaimer.
Okay.
First,
disclaimer.
The disclaimer is the disclaimer is this. This is going to be perhaps one of the greatest topics on your show in the history of your show. I'm gonna tell you why.
9.
Please.
I'm gonna tell you why.
89.
Great minds speak about ideals. So that's not a lot of minds in the world. Average minds speaks about events, and I guess that's like a good 30% in the world. Small minds talk about people, so let's be petty and get into the small-minded conversation, because that's like 90% of the people in the world. This topic is cultural. I don't think you guys understand that. It's actually.
Oh, I understand that.
And
normalize simping though. How do you normalize that?
Let's talk about it.
I'm gonna blow your mind. I'm here to defend the simps.
Wait, what?
I'm here to defend the simps.
And I see. No, look, listen.
Okay.
I see.
Camera, what?
I see.
Amazon had to turn the camera back on.
I see what area you're going into, because I know exactly what you're gonna do, because I actually somewhat defended the simps too. The problem, in my opinion, is the manipulation of the mindset from the content creator, not necessarily
I get that too.
the simp. The thing about it is this: most women content creators, and this, let's just be real here, guys. This spawned from that okay boomer girl. Okay, like I said, no hate towards her or anything, but this spawned from that, because simps are fine. People, and Triforce, I think people can be a simp. Everybody is allowed to be what they want to be. Everybody's allowed. If they want to support this content creator, okay, support this content creator. Do whatever you need to do. That's not a problem. So people are allowed to do that. People are allowed to spend their money how they want to and all that. My issue that I have is sitting there and manipulating a base of people that you already know is vulnerable, manipulating them and tricking them into thinking that what they're doing is the viable way. That is the problem that I have. I have a problem with that, and that's what that girl did. She's manipulated to tell people that simping is king shit. That's what she said, and that is the most biggest load of garbage that I've ever heard in my life. Being a simp is fine. You can be a simp, but that's kings. No, you're setting that person up for disaster. You're setting that person up. This is, like I said, this is serious, because I hang out with, I'm friends with a lot of women content creators who have a large amount of simps that support them or that give them money or whatever the case is, and that's fine. But when you manipulate them to try to make it seem like as if that's it, that's the problem that I have. None of them do that. And like, it creates harassment for women content creators. It creates problems where they get stalking issues. That's how it starts. The mindset of she said worshipping. She said worshipping. OJ. That's horrible.
Before the manipulation came, we as men have been stalking and harassing girls.
But
so don't say it creates.
No, it does create. No, I watch Forensic Files, and I'm telling you, it starts with the simp mindset. It starts with the simp mindset.
We're not being honest. We're not.
Men have always done that, but why give them more avenues to do that? You're literally sitting there as a content creator, as a girl that you know. Okay, let me ask you a question. Is she gonna sit there and say that's king-ish when somebody gets so obsessed with her that they show up at her front door because they dox her? Because that's what happens to Destiny. That's what happens to Misclick when they're typing in her feet and stuff like that. She's not doing women content creators a favor. She's not helping women content creators by saying that.
I'll answer that question for you.
Answer.
All right, one, right? You guys have to understand. This is the game. This is the market. What she says, if someone wants to take that literally literal, has nothing to do with her making sure to protect herself from people coming to her house. If someone takes it, if this jackass decides to take his this seriously and go and stalk her at her house, then that's on him, because he's just an idiot. He was gonna do that regardless if she said he was a king or not, because he's just an idiot to believe that. You have to understand. Look, this is why I'm defending the simps, right? I'm defending the simps because simps are literally 90% of the content creators' audience. Simping is not a guy to girl thing. Simp is another way of saying fanatic, fan, whatever you want to call it. Ninja has millions of simps. They all go to a stream. What does he do for them? He simply plays a game and they love him for it. So a cute girl comes on, she simply sits there, gives the nice T&A, and they love them for it. What's the difference? There's no difference.
Wait a minute. Time out.
There's a difference between
there is a difference.
And content.
There is a difference between Ninja got women, simps. People aren't going to Ninja because they're looking at him. He looks like the Roadrunner. They're going to him because he has great content. He has great content.
He has great content?
That's what they think, because he's good at Fortnite. They go there because he's good at Fortnite. He's good.
So wait,
he's good at Halo.
Hold up. Hold up.
Pause. Hold on, pause for a second. Everyone pause. Okay, watch this. Because let me break it down for you. I'm gonna be a pimp, like a pimp called Slick Back. I'm gonna break it down to you from a business.
I was gonna say. I hope you're gonna say what I'm gonna say. I hope you're gonna say what I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna say what you're gonna say. Right, right now as we speak, this is a video game channel. Right, the asset of this particular stream is this conversation. This is about whatever brand, whatever channel you have an asset that you are providing. That asset is a demand. You know why all these girls get simps? Because it's a demand. They didn't come in and say, no one comes into a market and say, I'm just going to put this out and let's see if it works. If the demand, you supply it. Dudes want to see T&A. Don't complain about the girls providing the T&A.
I'm not complaining about that.
Okay.
I'm not complaining about Sims. What I'm saying is that sitting there and telling people, like I said, telling your audience that simping is king-ish when they're already self-conscious about their body and worshiping women online. This is what's being said here. This is very particular. Worshiping women online, that women should be worshipped online and they should be simped out or worshipped online because that's what women deserve online. So not because they're providing content for you, but just worshipped online for what?
But you know what though? Hold up.
They shouldn't be worshipped.
Hold up.
No, I disagree. They shouldn't be worshipped. You should go there for the content. You should go there for the content.
Let me
say
something really rare. I was gonna say that. That's what I was gonna say.
Worshipping, so worshipping online is the content?
No. Hold up. She is the content, not the other stuff. She's the content for the guys. Exactly. And what I was going to say, number one, let's keep it really real 100%. If those men are going to her to know what a king is, to know what a man is, that is something wrong with them, not her.
Exactly.
No, she's gaming them. No,
she's gaming them.
Listen, and I don't have a problem with these idiots falling tripped. I'm saying that as a female content, these female content creators, they know they're going to get these people anyway. That doesn't mean you should knowingly take advantage of their frail jabroni mindset. Most female content creators don't.
These are grown men,
and you know that they're going to do. They're obviously there's something with them. You know that, and you're taking advantage of that.
Here's where you're going to disagree with me.
She's clearly taking advantage of that mindset of these fragile men.
Remember what the Joker said in Dark Knight when he broke the tool stick? She's looking for aggressive expansion. You cannot get mad at her for being an entrepreneur and say, I'm going to take advantage of these simps. You cannot get mad because guess what? Guys do it too. We just do it in a different format. Elitist players, Call of Duty players, PUBG players, Fortnite players, every type of pro gamer, what they do, they look at everybody else as some casual gamer and worship me because I'm a god in the game. Donate to me because I'm a god in the game. Be be like me because I'm a god in the game. If you guys want to follow me, and they get their whole fan base to do it, and guess what? People do it. So the girls have to compete against that.
Listen,
the girls don't have to, wait. The girls don't have the skills to compete against these guys at the level of Fortnite. Not saying that they can't get the skills. I'm just saying
you're misunderstanding what I'm trying to say here.
So
I don't
compete in that market.
Listen, and I know that. I'm really well aware of that. I don't have a problem with Alinity or with any other girl that's super popular content creator girl using their assets to get people to donate to them, to get people to watch them. That's not the problem I have. I have a problem because none of them, and I've watched these girls, none of them, and I mean zero, almost pretty much zero of the most popular ones, sit there and say that simping and worship, you should worship women online because that is king shit. Because all that leads to is an unattainable imagination that you are never, ever going to get with that girl. There is a 0.0000000% chance. And sitting there and saying that you should worship that instead of finding one in real life, you're telling them to worship someone online?
You know why?
Bruh, no. I'm sorry. They need a dose of reality. There needs to be a yin and no, Triforce. There needs to be a yin and yang. Triforce. There needs to be a yin and yang. Because this will get out of control if we just it's like, oh yeah, just go do whatever you want. No, there needs to be a yin and yang.
Oh damn, what happened?
I guess we need to all just put on muscle shirts then.
Oh no, wait, no, look, let me say.
I got disconnected. Sorry.
Yeah, Discord sucks. But I want to say something because y'all getting it's starting to sound like Maury up here. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's starting to sound like Maury. Look, man, look. Okay, it's a very hard thing to talk about because I can understand what Triforce talking about, and I can definitely understand what OJ's talking about. It creates a precedent and a standard that is not reality on OJ's side. It's like when she said that was king shit, I bust out laughing. I literally bust out laughing.
I was laughing
because I was like, some people are really going to believe that is king shit, and that's the problem.
That's the problem. That's the only problem I have. That's the only problem I have. By the way,
that's the only problem. Why is it a problem?
Can I ask a question? It's a problem because you got to understand, people are so monkey see, monkey do, dog. It does not matter what it is. They're so monkey see, monkey do. That's why you got so many people buying so much damn toilet paper right now because everybody else is buying toilet
paper.
But no damn
out.
Let me, Baron, let me pose a question to you real fast. Is it a problem for her to say that, or is there a problem that there are a lack of kings really standing up then?
Well,
what's the real issue?
Here's the thing.
It's a problem with her saying that.
When you take a popular polarizing figure like that and you say, this is how it should be done, then that's what's going to be interpreted to the opposite sex. That's just what you got to do. Just like how Beyonce controls almost every female's minds in America. If Beyonce said, this is what your man got to do, guess what? They're going to have to start doing that shit because Beyonce said that.
You know how many people wanted to surfboard in their bathtubs? Come on.
It gets crazy. It gets crazy.
Hit the time. It's
don't hit no time because that's how influential some of these people are. She's not that influential, but I'm saying that's how influential popular people can be.
No.
I see it all the time.
It's facts what Barron said. That's facts.
I see it all the time.
That's facts what Barron said. Straight up.
No, I'm gonna tell you why.
She created a whole independent women movement.
She didn't create anything.
So
men allowed it because
bingo.
Guess what?
Bingo.
If a girl comes up to her and says, to the left to a dude, and he goes, to the left, then she's going to be like, wait, I didn't really mean you to go to the left. I was just saying that because I want to feel like I was in power. And then the guy goes, well, you're not in power. I'm like, if I can't go to the right, I'm just going to go to the left.
So let me ask you guys a question.
Wait a minute.
No, time out. So let me ask you guys a question. Is it okay? Okay, so is it okay for me to steer people and use my influence and steer them in a certain way that I want to steer them, even if it might be a little bit morally incorrect and it's not the right thing to do?
Hell no.
In order to make money. Is it okay for me to do that?
Hell no.
Time out.
Is it okay?
Does it hurt
Are you a politician?
No,
because you guys are literally saying, despite most.
That's not what we're saying.
No, you guys are saying it's okay for her to say that.
No, that's not where we're not saying.
Because that's the only problem that I have an issue with.
We're saying it's not okay that guys allow themselves to get them wrapped into this.
Let them guys do whatever the hell they want.
I'm gonna speak for myself. I have no problem with them saying that. I have no problem them morally misleading these idiots. It is entertainment. If they want to send her a $5,000 check because she says, send me $5,000 and then book my flight to California and I'll come and date you, and they think they can get whatever, then
I don't have a problem with that, because that means that if she said that, hey, I'm gonna come and date you, and for $5,000, and if they're dumb enough to pay that, or if they want to pay, that's fine. You're paying for services. Don't have a problem with that. The issue that like I said, the issue that I have is her implied definition was simping and acting this certain way is okay, and that is the king way to do things. When we have known these noodle armed people that are sitting at their computer desk, not going out to the gym, eating like trash, can't get any women, and then somebody online says, oh, well, this is what you do. This is how you become great. This is how you become a king. This is how you do it, by doing this. That is clear manipulation and deception, and there needs to be somebody saying something. I'm sorry. There needs to be somebody saying something.
The reason
she
why
killed all the illusion. She put a whole curtain down.
No, she didn't. In fact, I'm glad she said it, because she's maintaining this false world. They need to maintain this false world in order for it to keep running. People come. You guys watch Code Geass, right? Remember how the resistance was saying, Lelouch lied to me. If Lelouch did not lie to them, war over. They need the lie to keep running. These people come on stream, Twitch, and YouTube because they want to come to a lie. There are real content creators that talk about real things, do real things, have projects that affect the world positively, and people do not support them. You know why? No one is here for the realness. They're here for the false illusion. People want to be entertained. Are you not entertained?
And the thing about it is that
to a certain extent, though.
Yeah, it's just, you can still entertain without saying that dumbass shit. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can still entertain. Did you see her shirt? It freaking started at her belly button. You can still entertain and get people what they want without saying that nonsense that she was saying.
OJ, are you more concerned with her speaking falsehood than the fact that? Because what's more the problem? What he's saying? Because she's saying that's king.
Right.
As king.
If you pay her, you can become king for a certain short period.
she didn't. And to be fair, she didn't say that. To be exactly fair, she didn't say. She just said that. She said that
in general.
She said in general. So simping is kingish.
She was generalizing it
because you should worship women online. Women should be worshipped, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. So worshiping women online is something that you should be doing.
I have a question. I'm not even going to make a statement. I have a question. Before she said that, weren't these guys worshiping the women online anyway?
Well, that's what this is the thing. This is the thing. The thing about this is that it's clearly deceptive on her end when she knows good and well what she's saying is. If you know good and well what you're saying is nonsense, because what she's saying is nonsense. Now, if it comes, it comes. But to sit there and feed into it and to intentionally deceive people.
Devil's advocate.
That's the problem that I have.
Devil's advocate. Since men have been simping and feeling themselves to be kings, before she said that, it is very possible that she has seen this with her own eyes and she has come to believe this.
And she is making her own observations on what she has seen.
And so she's just following through with it.
And like I said, there needs to be a yin and a yang to this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of bad things in this world, and if nobody stood up, and there's a lot of people that are yes, they can make money off of it. Yes, she can get her bag. Nobody's trying to stop her from doing that. She's gonna get her bag regardless because people are gonna go there and be simps. That's fine. I have no problem with that. Simps is entertainment, like you guys were saying. The issue that I have is, like I said, she's not doing women gamers any favors by this. She's really not.
Well, but no. Now, I'm glad you brought up women gamers, right? Because there's a difference between ethos and female gamers. It's a big difference. One's playing games, the other one is starting. There's a huge difference.
I have no problem with either one of them. What I'm saying is that she's not doing any of them. She's not doing any of them a favor by sitting there and saying worship and idolize me and all that, because that leads
that's not true. No,
that leads to I personally feel, based off of the women gamers that I have spoken to, the ones that idolize and worship them online, that has led, yes, it can lead to money and that's great and all that, but it can also lead to lots of other problems as well. I just don't look. We had Christina Grimmie or whatever her name is. There was a guy that idolized and worshipped her and went there online and went there and did that to her. You know what I'm saying? How she died. I just don't think that it's a good idea. Go there for their content, like their content. The TNA or whatever is the byproduct. Yes, that's great. But go there if you want to hear them talk. Go there to hear them talk. Go there to understand them. Treat them more than just look at this hot woman right here. Treat them more than just a piece of meat. I'm just saying that, you know, treat them more than just that.
Hold on, wait.
Billy the Yeet Master just wants to flex money on them. He doesn't. See, this is the problem.
Billy the Yeet Master.
Yeah, Billy the Yeet Master. It's a Gundam reference. But the point I'm trying to make is, listen. You know who does women in gaming the greatest disservice? It's not the ethos. It's men. We talk so. I'm gonna show you how much of hypocrites we guys are. We talk so much about if they would just play video games and stop trying to use their assets and blah blah blah. How many of those girls get any burn? How many?
Good point.
How many of those girls get? Where are all the top gamers, men who coming in on these girls who are actually playing video games? Those girls get no burn. You know why? Because that's not what's in.
Those women. No, wait, hold up. Time out. I think that there's some. What you're saying is true, but what you're saying is also there's some other stuff. Listen, Miss Click's doing very well. She was just at an expo.
Gamers that don't have the assets to do what the other female gamers are doing to manipulate.
There's a Twitch ad that I saw.
Worth mentioning.
Well, there was a Twitch ad that I saw from one gamer girl where she has 10,000 subs. And she's not, you know, that type of girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can look at her and tell she's not that. She's not, her shirt's not all like that. She doesn't do any of that, which is fine. I don't have a problem with either way. I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of either way. The thing about it is that there's a lot of women gamers out there that are doing their thing. Even the ones that show some skin and all that stuff, like, that's fine too. I actually have no problem with that. That's great. I want to see them using whatever they've God-given whatever to be successful. I like that. Like I said, the only issue that I have is just what she said in particular. I don't think that helps. I think that creates guys are like, oh heck yeah, now I'm even gonna double down on this. Yes, there's already gonna be jabronis, like you said, Triforce. You're right about that.
Those
even
guys
before
are
that, there's always gonna be that. But why are you sitting there and egging it on, encouraging it? That's like me saying, okay, well, since there's already gonna be violence in the world, let me go ahead and encourage more violence. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that right too? Just because there's already something that we should encourage?
Because
something negative.
This is one, and this is gonna. I don't know if this is gonna come off kind of misogynistic or whatever. They're men, or at least they're males. And because I'm a man, I have no sympathy for these guys getting cucked, simped, or any of this other stuff. When I see another man set himself up for failure, and you're looking at him like, that's really not manly, and something happens to them, you know what I do? I laugh. Because it's funny. Because it's a man. This is not like a child, right? And this is not like a damsel in distress. It's a dude getting simped. This is hilarious.
Okay.
I like. It's funny.
Let me ask you a question.
It happen.
Let me ask you a question. You're thinking that everybody has the same IQ chart as you do and we do here.
No,
not everybody does.
It's not even about an IQ chart. It's not even about an IQ.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. There are definitely people that are more vulnerable to certain things when some things are being said because their intelligence level is not. If you guys think intelligence doesn't play a part,
it's not. Hold on,
real quick, because y'all battling too hard.
It's not even about intelligence. Because if you even go back into like where human civilization started, where they weren't even as smart as we are. It's just a presence. It's sort of a presence on how men are raised. Even if you go into like far as we look at ancient like civilizations that are not like as civilized as us, it's like it's not about an IQ level. It's about a level of how men walk. It's about men being hunters, being providers as normal as in their natural state. And in many cases, these dudes being tricked, because that's what they are. They're being tricked. No. They are not being men. They are being little forms of men, and that's the problem.
And look, if they want to be that's fine. But
exactly, that's their privilege,
and I'm okay with that. That's what I'm saying. Like, intelligence plays a part into who gets into these brackets and who doesn't.
But some of these guys, they pay. Oh, I'm sorry. You can go because we've been cutting you off.
Yeah.
Go on.
Go ahead.
Because y'all killing me right now. Y'all killing me.
This topic is the truth, B. I'm telling you.
Oh, this side's on both sides. I can see both sides. I'm not disagreeing with any side. I'm not fully 100% on one side. I'm in the middle here. The only thing I think is the issue is that when she said that, you got to understand when as a man if you are putting that much effort into something, you start to get comfortable and you start to feel a little bit closer to said individual, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So therefore, when people start getting more comfortable, you start seeing these more incidences start to happen because they think it's okay because, I was already anointed king shit. So obviously I must be special. You feel what I'm saying? So I understand what OJ is saying because people get comfortable, then they get too comfortable and stuff starts happening. And as men, once we put a lot of time and effort and definitely money into something, we kind of feel like we have a little bit of ownership, like the start.
And whose fault is that?
So
is that her fault?
No,
or
no,
ours?
no. That's not her fault. That's just men in general across the board, not just the simps. That's men in general across the board. So you can't tell me no man feels that way. That okay, this is mine, and we kind of get off of that. So don't act like none of y'all really take pride in that. It's like okay, I worked to holler at this girl. This is my girl. I feel like I have a little bit of not literal ownership, but I worked for this. You know what I mean?
And there's other guys who want to compete, and they compete by money. So that's your girl,
and that's what I'm saying. Is just that
if they want
when they do that, I think it just sets. It puts them in a dangerous area because now they feel comfortable like they can
exactly. It puts them in a dangerous area, and like I said, this is when
so
the mind is complex. You guys all know this. The mind is complex.
So the problem. I guess the problem is we need to cultivate more issues of more men being present to really what's the word I'm looking for? Mentor and coach. There needs to be more mentorship.
I think that there needs to be. Obviously, the problem here is men. I think we can all agree upon that. The problem here is men. On that. But the thing about this, the issue that I think that we should have is, I think also, with female content creators and stuff like that, and just with like everything, like you should go there for their content too. There should be something so you don't have this possessive ownership of these female content creators. Go there for something.
Do me a favor, man.
Go there for something outside of their body. Go there for something. Pick something.
Now you're asking them. Now you're asking them to. Now you're asking them to.
What?
The dude in the chat named Birdman, make him a mod, man, because I think he'll get down to the most simplest compound for us.
It's the third. Like I said, no, it's fine if you're thirsty or whatever the case is. That's fine. Like I said, I just don't think you shouldn't egg on this behavior of worshiping and getting into this craze, because the mind is so complex, dude. Like psychology, all this stuff is known that like if you repeated stuff over and over, and if this attractive, amazing woman sitting there and telling you, oh, you're great, you're king-ish for worshiping me online or worshiping that can have, even on smart people, sometimes even on anybody, that can have an adverse effect. You should just say, hey, thank you so much for supporting me. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We can play some games together or whatever the case is. It should just be
all right.
It shouldn't go into this psychoanalytical state of you should be doing this. This brain kind of low-key brainwashing. That's all I'm trying to say, bro.
Polarity, man. We got reverse polarity on that, man.
That's all I'm trying to say. Like, I just don't think that should be that should. The problem is men. Yes, the problem is men. Female gamers, most of them are amazing. Female gamers, female content creators, they're all great. It's just the men are the issue.
Okay, so the men are the issue. So now
the main issue,
because I don't want this to end. I don't want this.
That's a human thing, not just a male thing. But
I don't want the topic to end prematurely. So since we've identified the problem, which is the men, can we talk about the solution? Can we talk about that, please?
There is no real solution because everyone. There's no solution. You know why?
There is a solution.
There's no solution because people can do whatever they want. People can do whatever they want, and these simps, they have a voice too. If they want to support this girl, I'm for it. They are allowed to do whatever they want. All I want.
Then what are we disagreeing upon?
The only thing that I'm disagreeing upon is the only thing that I'm disagreeing upon is the manipulation from where it's coming from to sit there and say, yes, this is what you need to do to be king. OJ, that's the manipulation on that. And when they know that is false, they're not going to get with that girl. That is not that is not healthy for them to find a relationship on their own. Yet that content creator is telling them that. That's the only issue I have. That's the only issue.
Wilding right now.
Hold on. OJ, look. The reason why I'm not going to call it a manipulation is because the solution isn't a manipulation either. What she is doing is she's using her influence to create a narrative to balance things out and solve the problem. All you have to do is create a counter influence which balances it. Hold on, OJ. Hear me out for a second.
You said create a narrative. That's manipulation.
No. Because streaming content is subjective, there is no manipulation. Your point is you're supposed to influence whatever content you have to create the content. There is a demand for what she's doing. That's why she's successful. That's why what she said brought us so many views. It's the demand. It's hypocrisy to ignore that. The simps do what they do because they like doing it. So she's like, okay, let me play into what the demand wants. So she's playing into it. That's not manipulation. That's being smart.
But people were there arguing with her on it. She was defending it. It wasn't it wasn't like she was speaking about it freely. She was literally, people were saying, "Hey, this is a problem." And she was like, "No, I think this."
No, you want to know what's so funny? You know what's so funny? People are arguing against her for something that she's not the first to do it, and she will not be the last.
No, she's not. But I've never heard that before. Have you heard anybody say being a weak, feeble-minded person and doing what these people are doing is king? I have never heard anybody say that.
Who said simps are weak, feeble-minded individuals?
A lot of them are.
Who said that? Who made that determination? See what's happening here?
Name one content creator in terms of the definition of what people see as simps, and in terms of the most severe cases. Who has said that is the king shit? Names.
Triforce. Triforce is the emperor of simps to his wife. I simp for my wife.
Your wife, but I agree with that. To simp to your wife, I said that. I said you should find a real woman. Triforce, you have a beautiful young real woman. Your woman's real. That's what these guys should. They should go find real women and simp to them.
Creators aren't creating. They just have the TNA.
That's your wife. Yes, you should simp to your wife.
No, you can't say creators not creating and just because they have TNA. That's not fair. Listen, you know how this can be beaten? There are so many different ways. One, the guys that are complaining about this chick saying this, we should focus on finding content creator, female gamers, right? That actually are good in the game and they provide content. This is all subjective now, that we think should be on the forefront of Twitch and YouTube, and we should push them, but we don't. The simps are doing their job. They're lifting their queen up. They know the way. They know the way.
Hey, you're right. You're right. You're right. Hold on.
You came in there with the 1-2.
I want to back him on that. You are absolutely right. But you know the problem with that? Even if it was evened out and we did put these good female gamers on a pedestal, and women had that path to be just as big as men gamers, I think a lot of them still wouldn't do it. You know why? Because it will be easier to do it the simple way. Everybody will love to. Trust me, they will love to take the easier route than the harder.
Here's why I disagree.
I got a reason to disagree with that, but Triforce, go ahead.
One, right? I'm gonna speak about the average dude. The average dude comes to Twitch and YouTube for Triforce. Listen, because I'm saying this in public on PlayerEssence's stream. I just want it to be known that Triforce was the one who invented this term. There's a formula. It's called TAG. TAG stands for TA Games. Every man that comes to most men that come to Twitch and YouTube are looking for TAG. It is the complete formula. TNA is missing the G. If we can get girls that can give TNA and the G, they'll destroy any ethos, and it will be absolutely free. It will be no contest. You know why? Because they'll just be ninjas with TNAs, and you can't beat that. There's no way. If there was, okay, watch this. Let's say there was another ninja Fortnite player, but he was in the gym. He had a banging body and was handsome and everything. He dresses up in designer joints and the whole nine yards, and he's just to girls. Okay, you know that guy who he did some crime and he went to jail. And he became
Jeremy Meeks.
Jeremy Meeks. Oh, God.
If Jeremy Meeks came on Twitch and said, "I want to stream playing video games," and he was as good as Ninja, Ninja's dead.
Well, here's the other thing too. Like, so
they would be very, very to answer that. that would be, it would work. It would
But
definitely work.
It's not going to
but
be
I don't think it's going to eliminate the already existing guys though.
Mm-mm.
I think it'll be hard for new content creators. Definitely, it'll be hard for them to compete with that.
When I mean dead, I don't mean like they can't thrive anymore or they can't function. I mean they're no longer at the top. So let me rephrase it. They'll be the king.
Well,
So
I mean, there's enough room for lots of people to. There's tons of people that are successful. So there's enough room for lots.
That's
of people
that's the point that I want. That's the point that I wanted to make. If they push both, why does it be a competition at that point? Why can't it just be everybody?
Because there are multiple. Like I
point.
said, there's so many women gamers that we don't hear. Like I said, there's a Twitch commercial where there's a girl that has 10,000 subs, and I've never heard of her. 10,000 subs. Think about that. That's like $30,000 plus a month just by Twitch subs.
Just get more people exposed.
That doesn't even count bits and donations and all that. So she's making tons of money, and there's many other girls that do creative stuff on Twitch that have tons of subs. I've seen the ASMR girls that have 6,000, 7,000 subs. I've seen lots. So there's a lot of stuff that we don't even.
People are sleeping on stream and making money off Twitch.
There's people sleeping. I mean, there's lots of stuff. But I want to get into what Juice Man Vaughn had to say here because he donated $5. First of all, thank you, Katana Riku. He donated. He says Smash Online needs an easy mode. To be honest, LOL. And then also Juice Man Vaughn donated $5, and he says my problem is that she's essentially lying to her fan base, which is entitled to it, but 90% of women do not like it when men make them their whole world. So I mean, I think that what you're saying is, I mean, it just depends on, I guess, the woman based on her psyche and all that. But yeah, some women don't like when men are too clingy. I know. I think Lady Gaga broke up with one of her boyfriends.
OJ, let's just flip it on his head. It doesn't matter how you dress as a guy. You get on stream, and all you do is count money and tell a woman talk about how women are important. Talk about how you like women and how you want to treat women while you count their money. And they will at least watch. I don't know about donating, but they're going to watch. You do that a couple times. Unfortunately, males and females are attracted to different things with regards to mating. So we look for, hey, are you going to be a healthy whatever type situation? It's just programmed in your brain. They're programmed to think, can you provide? So you provide that same fan service and you're doing the exact same that they're doing to us per se. And it'll work. It'll work. I just don't know if they'll actually donate to you.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
To what Shadow Fox said, yo, if you're a streamer or if you're a content creator in any sense, you're in the business of customer service whether you like it or not. So at the end of the day, she's providing a service, and how she decides to sell her products and to sell herself, and those guys are gonna keep going for it. And if they buy it, they bought it. You didn't buy it, OJ. You refused it. You walked out the store and moved on.
She's doing her thing. She's fine. I have no, like I said, it's a yin and a yang thing, bro. OJ, it really is a yin and a yang thing. There is a balance.
Were you a simp in the bald OJ timeline?
Listen. There's a yin and a yang to this. If somebody says something to me that is destructive in terms of overall and doesn't help the people that I think that they're trying to intend to help, we are all allowed to say something to counteract that. I think, personally, I look at a lot of the men who worship these, because I've had multiple men come to me, OJ, we have these discussions, VC, you've seen them. People that know these, you guys have seen these men that are dejected. They are like, man, they're not going to hurt anybody, but they are dejected. They worship some of these online women, not to say that they're donating, but it creates a barrier for them actually finding a real woman, because they think this is the standard of beauty. This is what I need to get. I need to worship this online person that I have no shot. Yes, it's on them for being that stupid. I get it. But that doesn't mean there shouldn't be somebody trying to help them and say, no, that's not the right thing. You should maybe do this. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, now we get into parenting issues.
Daddy's missing in their life.
Okay, that's what content creators are for. We're here to help. Are we not? I mean, yes, we're not their mom and dads, but we're here to help too, right?
What about that's not what content creators are here for.
I'm here to help. I'm here to help my village, son.
No, here to cut a check.
No,
don't sit up here and try.
I'm here to help my. No.
I agree with OJ.
OJ teaching people how to shower, how to eat.
I teach people all sorts of stuff because I generally care about them.
OJ, let me defend you for a second. Do not confuse the byproduct is the cause and goal. OJ's goal is to help his village. That's a form of wait, hold on. That's a form of work. The end result of his work, the byproduct of his work is the check. He's not here to cut a check. He's here to work, and for working, he gets the check. His job is to help his village. And the reason why I want to say that is because a lot of people, they make this kind of like, I don't want that narrative like money is like this root of evil. Everyone's chasing the bag. No, people want to earn. Everyone, well, not everyone. Most people would like to earn their money. And this platform of Twitch and YouTube and streaming is a platform for us to find a way to earn. We provide a content that he does this thing for the PlayerEssence stream. It has an audience. That audience subscribes to his content, and then they help him. That and in return, he does his job and help them. It's important for people to understand that, because what I do, I told people, if someone paid my rent, covered my food, took care of my family, gave me a house, I said, Triforce, we need you to just continue to do what you're doing with Empire Arcadia, helping to build esports in Africa, take care of my people, I wouldn't want to check. That's me. I wouldn't want to check. But we live in a capitalistic world, which unfortunately you have to earn money, and then you have to use that money to continue to do the work so you can provide for your family and your people. With that said, the reason why these girls have all this influence on these guys with the nonsense that the chick said is because we exacerbate it. Everyone does content on these girls. The ethos who are taking advantage of people, that's all you see. Where are the men to do content on the girls, on the uprise who actually play the games, that are good, that have good things to talk about, that do charities, that help out in their community and all this stuff? Where are they? Why does no one talk about them? You know why no one talk about them? Because I said it in the beginning of the stream. Small minds love to talk about people, and when we talk about people, we don't like to talk about good. We like to talk about drama. Why? It entertains us. This is the problem. So it is up on us. We have a judiciary duty to our female gamers in the scene who's trying to come into the content creation scene, to give them a platform to promote them and stop.
Well, but we do though. I know I do. I promote. I know I do. I love my
this chat's going wild, yo.
My female content creators that I work with all the time, I don't really care, male, female, whatever the case is. It doesn't really.
Hey, yo, hold up. Let's do a solution right now. How about this?
There's
How
no
about live watch?
solution.
No, hold up. There is right now. How about we just promote
The
some
solution is
real
we go to the next topic because we've been on this too
Yeah,
long.
we're moving on to the next.
Wait. Mr. Gaming, check out their channel.
Thank you. I was gonna say, let's start promoting some people that we do support.
I already
Kazoo.
promote. You guys already know whenever Destiny comes on, I'm with Miss Clay. on
Mandy
on
Lee. Those are 5 great creators.
Mandy used to come on the podcast.
Casual gaming.
Can I throw something? Can I throw something on my end? All right, so we got the Gaming Diva TV. We got Empress Nile. So we got a few on our end. Anybody else on their end?
Yo, we got video game her. We got casual gamer.
Bro, I know you did.
She's straight.
She don't make
She's straight. I did.
You didn't just say that.
Why not?
What content she create?
She was just streaming just a few days ago.
What kind of content did she create?
She was just streaming a few days ago.
What we do. That's what I want to know.
Good?
Right now.
Yo, first of all,
that's what I want to know.
And you see, that's the problem right there. That's the problem right there.
See,
that's the problem right there.
Problem right here. We sat up here, we talked about this for 30 damn minutes. We talking about the good female content creators, not the people that just want to jump in every now and again when drama happens. That's not what we talking about.
Do you even, dog? You didn't even follow.
First of all, you need to calm down, Barry.
Exactly who that is.
You need to calm down.
Exactly who that is.
You need to calm down.
You need to remember who I am because I know exactly who that is.
Well, she actually, I used to promote her content a lot. When she said that she stopped making content. So
she stopped because of school, and literally she started streaming again.
Okay,
she literally started streaming again, literally.
Okay, so check out the video game her. She streams. I've actually spoke with her many times before. She's a cool girl. She's cool, and when she did content, her videos were great. I always watched her videos.
Exactly.
No, she's all right, but I don't think that's a good example right now.
Well, because she's not doing consistent content. Check out the Yellow Kazoo too. She's awesome as well.
Yellow Kazoo.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next topic. Everyone's sitting here saying, "Yo, we've been on this topic for way too long." So maybe we need to wrap it up because it's getting kind of late.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to this Nintendo Direct drought / rumors that are coming up. The latest rumors are. We'll know by Wednesday if these rumors are correct, because Wednesday, or maybe we'll know by Tuesday, Nintendo, or there's a rumor going around, VentureBeat is saying that Nintendo Direct, Indie World Direct is coming on the 18th, so that's next Wednesday, and then a regular Nintendo Direct is coming on the 26th, so that'd be the following Thursday, according to VentureBeat.
I call BS.
You call BS?
What? When did they say that? Because I must have missed it.
Oh, you didn't see it on VentureBeat?
Yeah, they said it the other day.
Yeah, they said it the other day. So we'll know if it's BS or not on Wednesday. We'll know if it's BS or not, or on Tuesday, because there'll be an announcement of the Indie World presentation for the following day, or they might just do it they just might drop it on that. And sometimes they don't even announce it.
Monday they announce it too, probably.
No, they don't announce it. They don't announce Indie Worlds that far in advance. They just drop them on that day. They're just there. So
yeah, because didn't we have an Indie World back in either January or December?
December. We had an Indie World. December.
Yeah.
So VC, you think it's BS?
Well, I just think it's BS because we were told that there's be 2 directs in February. We were told there's be 2 directs in January, which we got the Pokemon Direct, and I think we got something else. What sources
said that though? Who said those?
I don't remember what the sources. But either way,
there wasn't really very.
It was just they said there was a main direct, and there was never. VC,
you're just going off of people that are just random people that are just saying things like on Reset Era or something like that, not actual websites that are saying this is what's going to happen.
No,
or anybody
it's not even that. Did Nintendo say it?
No, Nintendo
exactly.
That's why I say if Nintendo didn't say it, I'm like, eh.
Exactly, and that's how I see it now. Like at this point, like I'm not gonna believe it until it's literally happening and I'm watching it. Like at this point, like at this point, especially with the whole issue with CV, like it may actually be delayed. But with the whole Lego Mario thing. But with the whole Lego Mario thing, it says latest Nintendo Direct, which to me made me think that post was meant to be posted on that day, because the stream was the latest Nintendo Direct, was latest, meaning prior, meaning recently, meaning the week before, the week prior to that one either as well.
Well, first of
that's
all,
possible too. The original Direct was scrapped. Yeah,
they recorded
the original
Direct,
was scrapped. That's all.
If they already got a Direct ready, it's probably already been recorded. So I don't think CV19 will have anything to do with it. You know what I mean?
Just me personally, I at this point, it could be a reason now. So it's likely everything's being canceled. But when it comes to the Nintendo Directs, I would love to see a new IP, a brand new IP. If we can get a brand new IP, I would prefer that over seeing.
You know what? You know what I'm gonna say?
Me being me, my hipster self, but I would love.
What if that new IP isn't good?
Well, we'll find out when we play it.
I always hear people say, people always say, I'd love to see a new IP, but what if it's not good? What if you don't like it? What if you don't like ARMS? That's a new IP.
I don't like ARMS.
Okay, so then how about you? In my opinion, I think we should see good games. How about we see
great?
I'm just saying, I think I would like to see good games, not a new IP just for a new IP. Just say there should be good games.
ARMS is a good game.
No, it is a good game. What I'm just saying,
it's not a personal preference.
I'm just saying, like, I want to see a new IP. Okay, so if they show you a new IP, what if it sucks? What if it's not good?
Astral Chain was fire.
1-2 Switch was a new IP. That wasn't that. I don't think people like that at all. Sushi Striker, nobody bought that game. That was a new IP.
That game was $5.
That was a new IP. I'm just saying, like, when people say, I want to see a new IP, and then a new IP comes and nobody buys it.
Astral Chain did really well, so.
I know Astral Chain did well.
Look, we just got Astral Chain, so VC, your request for new IP, hell no. I want to see the stuff we already talking about. Show me my Bayonetta 3. Show me my Metroid Prime 4. I don't want nothing new right now. I want what you told
Animal
me.
Crossing. And let's get this Animal Crossing popping. What's really good? What's the problem with Animal Crossing? Let's talk about it.
Yo, Baron, let's hear this. Let's
do it.
Baron got CV.
Oh, we really gonna go here? We really gonna go here?
There. Yeah,
okay, let me just say this, and I'm gonna get this out of the way. Animal Crossing is probably the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I'm just gonna be straight up honest with you, because I don't understand why y'all like it. I don't understand the craze for it. I don't understand why y'all. I want to know what emotionally attaches y'all to this game, because usually when it comes to a Nintendo franchise and Nintendo fans, it's some unique gameplay thing that's either revolutionary or not being done somewhere else that really attaches people to these franchises. I don't see what that is.
Can I
in
explain that with Animal Crossing? Can I explain
Because I'm like, it looks boring as hell.
Let me ask you a question.
The most boring experience you could ever have. I'd rather play Death Stranding than play Animal Crossing.
That's not true.
So,
you know that's not true. You know that's not true. You know it's not, Baron. You know that's not true.
I'm dead when serious. I'm back on Twitter in 5 days.
You know that's not true. And second of all, like I would say this. You ever played like Nintendogs? Remember when that blew up? Right?
I played Nintendogs and I was done with it in 2 days.
Okay, but there was people that like that. You ever remember Tamaguchi or Tamagotchi or whatever that crap was?
The Gigapets and Tamagotchi.
Gigapets. And you know The Sims? You ever played The Sims?
Yeah, I played The Sims and they got played out.
These type of games, Baron, have been around forever. So I don't know why you sitting here and say this is not like a battle royale game where it's a new thing. These games have been around forever. What are you confused about why people like these type of games?
Bro, it's not the same thing because all those things
it is.
They fizzled the hell out very quickly.
Sims is still around. What are you talking about?
No, Sims is not as crazy as it was when it was first out.
But it's still very popular. It's still very popular.
It just needs to exist.
But the thing, the way y'all act about Animal Crossing, it's like the Messiah has come down to the earth. No, and it's like, why?
I think you know this, Darren.
This game is so boring as hell. I don't get it. I want y'all to explain it to me.
You know how Triforce just said.
I got 5 people in here. I want at least 4 different views on why y'all
let Triforce explain it. Let Triforce explain it. Go ahead, Triforce. And then BC, you can go right after.
Yeah.
Actually, because BC looks like he has a short statement. So let BC say your statement first, and then I'll
yeah, just like how you mentioned Mario, Zelda, and Pikachu's a thing for Pokemon. Like they're the 3 big Nintendo titles. Right below that is Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing, and the other one. It's a hit or miss. You could say Xenoblade. You could say Metroid.
It's probably Metroid or Splatoon at this point. But
actually Splatoon right there.
Why do you like Animal Crossing? I understand how big it is. I'm trying to figure out why y'all so attached to. This is what I
like Animal Crossing for the life simulation. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. Having a community together and going through day by day, paying your bills, getting your taxes. It's a life sim. Yeah, you're not gonna like it. I know. I'm not a huge fan of life sim stuff either.
Okay, go ahead.
That's what it is.
Now watch.
I want to hear this second. I want to hear this second.
Here's a difference between all these other low-tier sims and Nintendo Sim of Life.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I don't know if you, OJ, you would know. Most of you guys should know. Y'all all know about Captain N and the Game Master, right? Before there was Second Life, every kid playing video games back in the days always was like, yo, how would it feel to simulate and live your life in an actual video game, right? When Animal Crossing came by, with their limited connectivity, the purpose of Animal Crossing is a casual community game of interacting in using a game as the medium platform to socially interact. It is literally based on that entire concept. You can have a friend come over to someone can load up. If they're friends with you and they connect online, they can go into your house and they can see your TV there and they see your NES. Oh, we got an NES? What games do he has in it? You can play Punch Out. It's like you're simulating your life in the video games. It's no different from The Sims, but The Sims can't compare to Animal Crossing because Nintendo has its entire IP franchise backing the game. The Sims just does what is in real life, which this is kind of pointless because the purpose of playing a simulator game is to get away from life. Why re-simulate a real life sim? That's stupid. The point, if you want to simulate something, you simulate something not in real life. That's what makes Animal Crossing great. What makes this Animal Crossing godlike? 1, online connectivity. 8 people in your community. So I'm looking at this like, dude, this is godlike. My wife can get her girlfriends and I could be in a village with my waifus playing video games. This is what? Are you kidding me? This is the greatest. You know what Nintendo needs to add to the next Animal Crossing? Anime. If Nintendo can get anime into Animal Crossing, this game
what's going on here?
Yes. What is going on right now?
Anime or TNA? I couldn't hear
I'm listening. Keep going.
VC wants TNA.
If they can get both, if Nintendo can make a deal with certain anime, obviously they can't get anything that's over G-rated or whatever. But imagine they can get that and they apply that into Animal Crossing, and now you have Everyone, this is what people are going to do. People are going to get online. Hey, listen, you have this job. You got to cut down this wood. You have to build this or whatever. I'm going to sleep. You can give people, it's like literally raising a village. Literally. It's just, you're simulating it in real life. And you do it with the Nintendo properties. It's the same reason why Nintendo said, we're going to make our own fighting party game, which is Smash Brothers. But you know what makes Smash Brothers better than every other fighting game? Even though from a developer standpoint, developing the game, not the design, the development of the game from a fighting game standpoint, and trust me, I've gone through a lot of fighting games. The top 2 franchises of the worst development in fighting games. Number 1, the King and God, Marvel versus Capcom. It is the worst developed game. It is so broken. And number 2 is Smash Brothers. Now, don't get me wrong, the games are fun. We know the games are fun, but we're talking about in terms of development. These games are terrible. They're bad. The engines are horrible. Massive exploitations. You can't compare those games to games like Virtua Fighter. You can't compare those games to like games like Soul Calibur or Tekken, Grand Blue Saga, Street Fighter 3rd Strike. You
Power
can't compare
Rangers
them to
Battle for the Grid.
Yeah, you can't.
You just had to say that. You just had to say that.
Because it's bad. It's solid.
The style is solid though. I get it.
Forget this. No, style is that's I'm talking about the development of the game where you can't really make some exploitations and stuff like that, where you have to actually fight in the game. In Smash Brothers, that's why Melee was ranked as the greatest Smash Brothers game ever, because 5 characters exploit the entire roster. You know what that sounds like? Marvel vs. Capcom. Storm, Captain Commando, Captain Commando's only in exist. Evil, oh my God, Magneto, Psylocke. It's just the same 5 guys. That's why the same 5 gods exist. It's Justin Sanford and Yipes. Why? Because they exploit the game. And that's what people like about it. No one wants a balanced fighting game. But the reason why Smash Brothers succeed is because
it's a party fighter.
No. It's the IPs, Nintendo's legacy and lore. You live in the Nintendo universe. And then on top of it, they cross over other universes to come in, like Sonic and Snake and all these other characters. That's why you did it. You're living in video land. Literally, so that's what Animal Crossing is for Sims.
Nah, I don't see that. I don't see that because it doesn't have the same lore that Smash Brothers has. It's not the same lore.
Are you bugging?
It's not the same lore. It's no way the same lore.
I'm officially done.
It's not.
I'm done.
There's no way.
I bet you know what Nintendo would do? I bet you they drop raving rabbits. What's that character? Yeah,
a rabbit.
It would be, you know, what would be godlike? Nintendo. If you're listening to PlayerEssence podcast, Nintendo. If you're listening to PlayerEssence podcast,
oh god,
at some point drop Sonic in there, Tails, Knuckles. Which other little puffy, chibi, cute little characters from other games? Drop in the Nintendogs. Whatever. If the moment Nintendo decides to, listen, we're gonna cross over all of these characters. No real surreal characters. They all have to be like, what? If you can have Mario visit. NPC style, so that no one can claim Mario or whatever.
No.
Nintendo got him.
Shadow Fox. Let me get your thoughts, because like everyone's been saying you falling asleep, bro. So let's.
Shadow Fox was about to nod off.
Shadow Fox, what's your thoughts on Animal Crossing, my man?
Yeah.
Man, Animal Crossing is what it is, man. You're effectively part of a community in the original GameCube game. So the charm is there because they've figured out a way to do simplistic tasks and then continue to add on to them to expand. I don't know how to explain it, and I don't know how. I can't really. I can't say it's the Sims per se. I wouldn't. It's not the same kind of. It's not the same kind of rodeo, really.
Yeah,
no, it's not. It's better.
It's not. I'm not trying to say they're the same like the Sims. It's just that the things that you do activity-wise in Animal Crossing, it looks like the most boring shit you can do, and I don't understand why y'all attached to this.
Darren,
so
how
weird.
boring
Like,
kills me.
life?
There's
How
no-
boring
there's-
is life?
Wait, hold up, Abaddon. Do you have anything to add to this in terms of why Animal Crossing is great?
Nope.
Okay, so then let me tell you guys, because I've done
at least play one.
because I have watched multiple
I only
videos.
played GameCube.
Check this out, guys. I've watched multiple. I'm not the biggest Animal Crossing fan either. I played the GameCube one. I played the Wii one. I played them, but I never really got into them as much. But let me tell you the reason why, especially this game. Animal Crossing is one of those games. Is that, like you said, it's like a life type of simulation thing, right? You can kind of do things. In the original, or in Animal Crossing on the GameCube, you could play NES games and stuff like that. So it was like you. It's like, hey, you're playing NES games. Hey, there's competitions. There is a flow and there's a pace, especially to this new one. There are competitions. There's goals. There's objectives. There's things you got to do. You have tournaments. It's not just, I'm going to run around and plant trees. That's what you're thinking. But like I said, watch some of my videos on Animal Crossing. Watch the top 10 new features. I have a video where I did.
watched a lot on Animal Crossing.
Top 10 new
events
features.
in Animal Crossing too. They weren't really broadcast like that.
Yeah, but now they are though. But now that they are, and now there's even like terraforming. So it goes into that whole Minecraft aspect. Like, okay, I can build this place exactly the way that I want to build this place. I can invite who I want to, and we can all hang out. We can fish. We can collect stuff. We can trade. We can build, and that's the psyche. That's the psyche of people who play these type of games. It's, I'm going to collect this thing, to build this thing, to get this thing, then trade for this thing, and I'm going to rinse and repeat, and then there's a bunch of new things that I can get. So it's almost like OCD, like some type of order, like I've got to do this to get this, and then you just keep on doing it. But then you add in a bunch of people that can do that with you. You add in terraforming, you add in all these other elements to it, and it makes it like I said, like a Sims Minecraft. And that's what makes it appealing to people. Like I said, I didn't know what it was too, but I educated myself in terms of why people like this.
It's
that's
not
why
that I don't know
videos.
what it is. Yeah. It still looks boring.
It looks
you might think that, but I'm relaying that to you. Why people like it, Barry?
Y'all are really upset that I'm talking about this game.
I'm not upset.
I can't hear all of y'all.
The last one I played was GameCube.
There's a big hypocrisy in here. Is this about looks or gameplay? Talk to me.
No, this is really about gameplay. There's nothing in there. There's nothing that I've seen in Animal Crossing.
Why do you keep saying, it's just when I look at it, I got a problem with the look?
It looks like the most boring. Boring has something to do with interacting.
That's subjective. But Baron,
it's not really the design. I mean, I think the design is ugly too, but it's not really the design.
Really? You said based on the look, it looks boring, right? Tetris is a bunch of blocks. That is
snap!
No.
Snap!
The whole concept of Tetris is very different from the concept of Animal.
No,
you know what I mean.
You judge Tetris based on the gameplay, not the block, not the look. You can look at it and go, "This game is boring."
Okay, you literally talking about the look. I'm talking about the look of the activities you're actually doing, not just how you look. I'm talking about the actual activities that you're doing.
I get
that's what I'm talking about.
Animal Crossing,
you know what I mean? In Tetris, I know what we're doing because the gameplay shows me exactly what I'm doing. That intrigued me for a while when I first got into gaming. Oh, this is cool. This is like a puzzle type of thing. Now with Animal Crossing, when I see certain things that's going on, I'm like, why would anybody want to do this in a game?
Play the game and you will find out.
Execution is impeccable. That's all I can tell you. It looks boring, but it's not.
Play the game and you will find out. That's the best way when I first saw Tetris for my first time back in 1989, I was like, what type of stupid block game is this?
And it's not the fact that Animal Crossing is cartoony. It's the fact that everything that it looks like you're doing is boring. It looks like it's boring, but it's not.
I got an analogy. Hold on. But you know what though? In the same sense, someone could say RPGs look boring because you're watching someone play, but you're not exactly playing it. Someone could say RPGs look boring.
Bruh. RPGs got a lot of gaming elements going on.
But if you're not,
if you don't want to fish, you don't want to pick up weeds, like you want to go build a house, like you don't want to escape your life at all. Because
I literally had somebody try to sell me on Animal Crossing because this girl picked up a vaulting pole and vaulted over a damn creek.
I like that. That's one of my favorite things.
Really? That's what you gonna tell me I need to buy this game for?
No, I didn't say that's the only thing that you need to buy this game for.
You can just build a bridge.
You buy it. You don't get the construction tools right away. You don't get the construction tools right away. That's what you got to work up to. It's not just that. It's the fact that there's new ways to do things in terms of before what you have. Like it's
from the previous games.
It's all of the aspects combined. It's not going to every game's not going to be you punching and kicking somebody. Tetris, like Triforce, Tetris is just you with blocks. It's all you do. If people find that entertaining, why the hell wouldn't they find Animal Crossing entertaining?
It's an actual puzzle, but bolting over a small ass creek.
But you said it's an actual puzzle, but there's but hold up, Baron.
That's exciting me. No,
Baron,
it's not exciting me.
Baron, there's actual
tree is not exciting me.
Baron, there's actual competition.
Baron. Go ahead.
You ever played golf?
I played golf. I hate golf. I played it, yes.
Okay.
I can't play because it's not enough excitement for me. I can't.
But I'm willing to bet you that playing golf is significantly more fun than watching it.
And with friends, it's much more fun.
You know what that's like?
With Animal Crossing, New
That's
Horizons, you play with friends.
Friends, playing
Okay,
with
I'm gonna
friends
tell
is what makes the game. Playing with friends is what makes Animal Crossing what it is. If you play without friends, I completely understand what you're saying. If you play without friends, yes, it is whack. But that's the whole point. It's pushes. This is why I said this game. You can't compare the Sims. The Sims game got nothing on the king.
Sims has multiplayer, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
This game's
I'm
gonna
saying
sell 8 million month one. I'm calling it now.
life simulation type of game where you're doing a bunch of things. Like I said, if this game had no objectives, then yeah, it'd be boring. And I think that's how you're looking at it, Baron. You're looking at it as an objectiveless game where you're doing nothing. That's not it. There's objectives within the game. There's objectives in terms of like
it's not really about
the Sims economy isn't real either. Like it's.
But I don't understand like what the biggest.
No, the Sims was. I hated the Sims setup or how they did the economy and the job.
Well, the Sims done evolved, especially in Sims 4 now.
Yeah, I don't left that many generations ago behind, but it's not really just because it's not objective based. It's just that what I'm being shown of what I'm doing is just not engaging to me.
And that's okay. Look, he has his opinion. At this point, you have your opinion. At this point, you have your opinion on what you think of it, and that's fine. We're simply letting you know.
Upset a lot of Nintendo fans because that's coming from a Nintendo fan's mouth. But I think it's the most boring and shit I ever seen, and I'll never understand why y'all hooked on it.
Look, when I go on,
I coming from the god of Nintendo right here. Listen, y'all. Everybody, listen. All the e-thoughts and all the female gamers. If you want money, get Animal Crossing, get your subscriber base, tell them, pay you to play with them, and watch the simping action go at 1 million. I am talking, it is a wrap for the dudes. Girls,
Chrissy T play that game like it's crack.
I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna tell you the percentage. There is an absolute .0% of me playing this game. So everybody in
play Death Stranding over
everybody in this chat needs to calm down.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine, man. That's fine.
I went back on my word before, and somebody gifted me Pokemon Shield and shit, and guess what? I'm not doing that mistake again.
Someone's gonna be sending you Death Stranding now.
Although Animal Crossing is gonna get much better scores than Pokemon and all that.
Can I ask you a question? I would like to do an experiment. I would like it when Animal Crossing comes out. If someone gifts you the game, can we?
I'm not playing it.
Oh wait! Can we get a podcast? Can we get a podcast and the 6 of us play?
Sounds.
I'm with it.
I'm not playing that garbage.
Give it a shot.
If we all played it together, you would definitely.
If we all played it,
you would definitely have fun, Baron.
No, I wouldn't make it through the first activity.
I mean, Baron.
I would not make it through the first activity.
Baron.
When y'all tell me that I need to go change my clothes and cut down this tree, I'll be done. I will be done. It will be over.
Baron, wait, boys.
I will be logging the off.
Baron, wait.
Take the challenge.
Baron, wait, boys, dog. You gonna run the game with us, man?
Look, man. I mean, I'll just say this. I mean, Animal Crossing fans have been waiting, years for this. Baron, as someone who plays Madden, you should at least give this one a shot. You play that crap every year, and it's the same thing. It doesn't change. It's the same. I know maybe, don't fix what's not broken. Okay, I get that. But the amount of attention, love, and care that is put into a game like Animal Crossing far exceeds Madden, so at least you should at least give it a shot. The developers of Madden are no longer passionate, and I think that is very clear that they are.
Oh, they got to get passionate now after what happened a few days ago.
They are no longer passionate about the series, and the thing about it is that it's this: they had their best year this past year, and dude, was Madden 20 the best game in the franchise?
No,
it wasn't even the best game in the franchise, and
I'm still partial to 2004, 2005.
Me too. I think 2005 is very good. Madden with Ray Lewis on the cover. That one was very, very, very good because they balanced out the offensive playmaker with the defensive playmaker, it made just a really good experience out there.
There's also Madden 08 too.
That's Vince Young?
Madden 08.
Yeah, that's the Big Sean one.
The problem with the PS3 version of Madden 08 was really bad. Really, really, really bad.
I didn't have that version stuff.
Yeah, it was laggy. There was no there was a problem with the gang tackling in that game. Less animations.
Yeah.
That game got the PS3 version of Madden 08 got it's pretty bad. It's not even 60 frames per second. It's 30, I think, or it lags. It's just not good. It's just not very good. But anyway.
Give it a shot though.
We'll give it a shot. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here though, guys. It's getting where are we at on the time? Where are we at on the time? We're at like what are we at? 2:18.
I got to roll out.
I got my eyes on another game. I'm gonna go.
Yo,
I'm gonna wait for Doom Eternal to come on the Switch, so I'm not gonna get it on Xbox.
You're waiting for it to come to the Switch? I'm just gonna get it on Black Friday for $20 on PS4.
It's definitely gonna be $20 on PS4.
I'm not waiting that long to play that game. Too. It's gonna be more important games to play by that time. I'm not waiting that long to play that game.
Honestly, with the way this year's going,
absolutely not.
You never know. There's not gonna be new systems.
That's what I'm saying. There's gonna not be any games.
I ain't worried about a new system. I'm talking about there's gonna be new games to play. So I ain't trying to play that game back.
Okay, so we're gonna go around the horn here, guys. Thank you. Shout outs to the 350, I think 340 something people watching. I appreciate.
We should have 200 likes. Let's go.
Well, it's a little late for smashing the like button, but it's all good. Hit the like button if you guys want to. I'm gonna go around the horn
for that replay. Hit that like button for that replay.
Yeah, that's true. Hit the like for the replays though, guys. Triforce, where can they find you at, my man?
Well, okay, so I have 2 channels. Obviously, you guys, YouTube at Empire Arcadia. That's where I upload all my stuff. But I now stream on my wife's channel, which in 7 days I will be with her and the rest of the Valkyries playing Animal Crossing. And you guys can check us out on Empress Nile. That's EMPR3SS Nile on YouTube.
Thank you, Triforce, for joining us, man. I want to give you some good advice, because I know that you have your wife and everything, and she's awesome, and I watch your channel. But I think if you really want to know this king shit, you should definitely worship somebody else online. I think that's the thing that you should do in order to be the king. You know what I'm saying? You should definitely worship somebody else. All right, Triforce, you ain't doing it right, my boy. You ain't doing it.
I'm not. Wait, what do you mean? Who am I supposed to worship?
Let's not get on that simple.
You're not doing it right, my boy. You're not a real woman. Why would you need a real woman? And also Ariel Sorto, thank you for the $10 donation. He says, I love PE. It's more of the content. It's more than content. It's a great community. Thank you so much, Ariel. I appreciate the $10 donation. But like I said, Triforce, I don't know what you're doing, man. Having a beautiful young wife, what the hell? What's up with that, dude? Why would you do that? Just worship somebody online. Why not? That's real king shit. All right, hey, Shadow Fox. Shadow Fox, where can they find you at, my man?
Y'all can find me on YouTube, Shadow Fox Souls, and I guess I'll do a live stream. Watch me sleep, I guess. I can do that. So, do you play games to have fun to impress other people?
I play games to worship other women online. VC, work.
That conversation is worse.
Well, I don't play games to watch movies like Last of Us. That's for sure.
But do you play it to impress other people?
Oh, well, that's for Cuphead and other Sekiro challenging games. I beat Cuphead on expert mode on Xbox and on Switch. But you can find me on youtube.com/VCIPZ. Live streams, gameplay, music, all kinds of stuff. Got a new EP dropping next week. Got 3 videos dropping next week. 8 live streams a week. And follow me on Twitter because a Sony Pony banned me because they were so mad about.
You're still salty about that. Get over it.
5 years.
Right.
Can you stop crying about that? You got banned so
much. My content.
VC, go outside.
Bro,
VC,
I go outside all the time. I may not look like it, but I'm outside all the time.
You look like you came out. It looks like you just came from outside.
VC, if you worship more women online, you would probably not have been banned right now. If you you would have not been banned right if you would have just simply done the right king shit and worshiped more women online. You ain't doing it right.
It's an in-person real life thing for me.
VC. It's not an episode that goes by if I don't do this to you. Right.
He didn't even do anything and he got out. Oh, what the hell?
Nah, I don't.
Abaddon, where can they find you at, my man? Where can they find you at?
Yo, y'all can find me on YouTube.com and Twitter.com at Abaddon Smith for live streams and the Chillcast. And also, you can find me for interviews and just about music discussions, YouTube content, creative discussions, just about life and stuff sometimes at Beats for Breakfast, where we talk about a whole bunch of stuff. I really can't wait for you guys to see more episodes. We got a lot coming up, so you guys stay tuned for that. And that's all.
And Evan, if I'm not correct, you also have a wife and kids, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, you ain't on that king shit, you jabroni. Anyway, Baron, where can they find you at, my man? Baron, where can they find you?
Y'all can find me, for the next few days, trashing this Animal Crossing garbage, but y'all can have some fun.
At least play the game first. Like, I played the GameCube version years ago, but I haven't played a single one since.
Listen,
but,
I played the GameCube one before. Trust me.
Sure. Okay. All right.
But yeah, man, y'all can find me on that Twitter. You know what I mean? Find me on that Twitter if you haven't. Go check out
future AEW legend right here.
Go ahead and check out my ether that I put out for AEW. You know what I mean? Go support that. You know what I mean?
Yes, go support that.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You might want to even worship it if you want.
I'll put the link in the chat right now. You are being so petty with this.
You really is.
But I did put the link in the chat if y'all want to go check out that ether I put out. You know what I mean? That's some good stuff. But yeah, I don't think my view on Animal Crossing is going to change. Don't be shocked if you see your Emperor playing Bleeding Edge and not Animal Crossing.
Listen, listen, hold up. Hold up. Yo, OJ, what episode is this?
89.
89. Yo, mark it. Episode 89, because Barrett swore, he stood on that hill and swore that he was not going to play Pokemon. He stood on that hill.
And he said tonight that he'd play Death Stranding over Animal Crossing, and that's confirmed. That's confirmed.
You confirmed. Listen. When the Pokemon situation happened, I said I need to see a few things happen before I played that game. It did not happen. Somebody give me the game, and guess what? Out of OJ and Abaddon bitches, OJ and Abaddon bitch for so damn long that I actually played the damn game, and everything that we was talking about got confirmed.
Yo, so hold up.
To talk about it.
So hold on. So what if we gifted you Animal Crossing? We said, yo, let's all play Animal Crossing.
I already told you. Fool me once, that's okay. You're not getting me a second time. So you used your once foolery on Pokemon. It ain't happening again. That was it. Once
a year. You gotta do it once a year, man.
Once a year, my ass. It's not happening.
Just out of curiosity, anybody here streaming tonight, or are you all going to sleep tonight? Right after this,
I'm taking a shower, then getting.
I'm editing.
I have to wake up in 6 hours, so unfortunately I have to go to bed.
I'm editing. But I may come around if I can get some editing done.
Cause I'm gonna be streaming for the night. I'm gonna be talking with my community about Animal Crossings.
Okay, link your channel. Okay, so if you guys want to check out Triforce's channel, let me link it real quick.
No, because don't look in your DM. Use that link because that's where I stream. The Empire Arcadia channel is only for uploads now. I stream only on my wife's channel with her and her waifus. So it's all girls.
Okay, did you send me a DM on? Can you send me a DM on Twitter?
On Twitter, yeah, I got you right now.
So I will link that. So if you guys want to check out Triforce, he's streaming with his real wife, that's actually real, that he's married to, that's real, that provides for him and helps him and gives him what men need, that's real, that you can actually touch. You know what I'm saying?
Now you know why I'm not a simp, okay?
His wife that's actually real, that's not online. That's just real, I'm just saying, like it's a real wife. I mean, who would want one of those though? I mean, who needs that? Who needs one of those? What are those?
What are those?
I'm happy.
What are those? Wives? Who needs those? That's not king shit. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I really do. Here's the link for that. And I will see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna have more streaming. Super Smash Brothers tomorrow. Getting ready for Animal Crossing, all that good stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.
Bleeding Edge gang.
Bleeding Edge looks like a degenerate version of Overwatch. That's what it looks like. A degenerate Like it has like some type of disease or something like that. That's what it looks like. Anyway, bye guys.